All right. It is Monday. It's a new week in the year of 2025, the year of our Lord AD. Shout out to all you gentlemen that are here with your boy. We got a great live stream tonight. We're going to hear what Kevin Samuels has to say to Miss Tracy Ellis Ross. Unless you've been under a rock the past few days, Miss Tracy Ellis Ross, along with Miss the Queen, if you will, that some of you like to say, the Queen, Michelle Obama, on her broadcast on her YouTube channel. I've never seen a first lady with a YouTube channel, but go ahead, Michelle, do your thing. And one of the things that Tracy Ellis Ross had to say is that I'm not trying to get married. I like to hook up with young dudes, and older dudes my age are basically toxic. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody gets tired. That's the theme of this particular episode. Everybody gets tired. When I was a boy toy, I would sleep with all these women, wives and girlfriends. Yeah, I would sleep with your baby mama. I would sleep with your wife. I would sleep with your mama, aunties. I was everybody's boy toy. I wasn't just a creep dude. I was the dude that sometimes they'd pay me. Yes, I was pay for play at one point in time. Seriously. Your baby mama and your wife was coming out of money like that. But you get tired. You get to a point that you done had all the sex, even though you enjoy sex. But when it comes to just smashing chicks to smash chicks, you get tired. Women such as Tia Mowry, Vivica Fox, Maya, with her fine self, and Tracy Ellis Ross will get tired. The funny part is, or the sad part is, by the time they get tired, they'll be too old that anybody even consider marrying them. And they may be at that stage right now. We all get tired. We get tired of being used. I'll say that again. Not tired of the sex, not tired of the fun, but just tired of being used. We want somebody to take us seriously. And even though Tracy Ellis Ross may not be at that point, she did say how difficult it is to just be with boy toys. So we're going to hear what she has to say, but we're also going to hear what Kevin Samuels had to say to her. When Kevin was still alive, Kevin gave her a prediction. Kevin warned her. All these women, Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, and all these older women on social media that's trying to run around and hit the gym and try to be fine like they 30. Shout out to you getting your health together. But that's because you're tired. A lot of you ladies are tired of being used. Just like us men often get tired of being used. And if you think that's not true, ask some of these dudes that go to DR and have lost a lot of money to some of the ladies that have used them in DR. Ask some of the dudes in Thailand that thought they had a serious relationship in Thailand and they got tired of being used by some of the women in Thailand. Ask some of the guys that come to Colombia. And even though the sex is good, they spend so much money trying to build a solid relationship with some of these ladies, they cut them off. Why? Because everybody gets tired of being used unfairly eventually. And so it is with these older women. For all these older women, do realize, and I think many of us men, before we go into the shout outs, some of us men fail to remember that these older thoughts used to be younger thoughts. Yes, the older women over 40, that's that hoe over there, used to once upon a time be the younger, that hoe over there. Now they try to mask it with I'm feminine and modern woman and men can't control me. But the truth is, ladies, come on in here. I'm invading the beauty shop today. Y'all just gonna have to be mad at your boy. Tracy, what you doing now at 50, you was still slinging that coochie the exact same way at 25. Thought at 50, thought at 25. Y'all can relabel it. Y'all can put a brand new sticker on it and say it's not mayonnaise. Well, we all know that Miracle Whip is mayonnaise. And mayonnaise is Miracle Whip. Lisa Ray, you can say whatever you want. I'm not Diamond. You was Diamond at 25 throwing that coochie. Now you're 50 and there ain't nobody with you and you're still throwing that coochie out there. Maya, everybody in hip hop was running through you, girl. Everybody, I told you I'm coming into the beauty salon, the damn kicking in the door. All I smell is hair care products and weave, burning weave. I'm in the beauty salon today, ladies. I'm talking directly to you. Maya, you fine as can be. You was fine like you was back when you was 30 years old, 25 years old. We proud of you, girl. Looking good, still getting your money and everything. Got news for you, Maya. The same way Jay-Z and all them other dudes running through you as a thought at 25, you can relabel it, call it I'm a modern woman, say I'm independent, eyes free, whatever you want to say, ladies, you're still a thought. You're just an old thought. So word it how you want to. Go ahead, go on Michelle Obama's podcast. Let her co-sign it with her married self. Sitting up there co-signing stuff with envious eyes. Y'all didn't catch that part. Michelle was co-signing with envious eyes. Girl, if I was still in them streets, I'm looking like, is this Michelle Obama talking? Girl, if I was in them streets, I might be sucking on something younger than at least half my husband's age. Girl, but you do it for us. You free. You do it for us, all us married women. I'm like, Michelle, what is wrong with you? Is this Michelle Obama? Is this the Michelle Obama that everybody talking about they wanted her to run for president? Now she got her hair hooked up like she in the hood. Like she's LaShonda in the hood. Girl, Michelle, that's LaShonda hairstyle. What you doing with LaShonda? Now you got LaShonda braids. And Michelle, Barack, get your boo. Get your boo, Barack. Get your boo. What's my point in all this? My point in all this, like I just said, they can mask it. They can pretend that it's not there, and they can rename it and call it being a modern woman and being free. You can say masculinity is toxic. Men have been the same and consistent all the way through human time. Men ain't never changed when it came to women. That's one thing I can say. We do not. We're so naive. We don't wander off from the path thereof. Sex, sandwich, silence. That's it. You can go to any race, any era, any continent, any country. If you can feed him, if you can fuck him, and if you can be quiet, that's all your man looking for. He will give you the planet. He will give you the gift of a planet. If you can sex him, feed him, and give him some peace. Not just necessarily be quiet, but just give him some peace when you do talk. But a lot of these women grow older and don't realize something that men realized a long time ago. If I keep on slinging my sex life, I'm getting older and I might not be able to leave a legacy. Men know this. We learn right around 40, 45. We might even have a chick on the side, but when it comes to being for real with our legacy, we know we need to sit our butts down somewhere eventually. May not be in the United States with them laws, but we know we're going to sit down eventually. Might not get married, but we know we're going to sit down eventually. Women, you still trying to do it. How long you going to do it, Tracy? Y'all think y'all share, huh? Y'all think y'all can just throw coochie into your 70s, huh? Every black woman want to be sheer. You know that, right? Every black woman want to live long enough to where she could be sheer. Still look good enough to throw that coochie around. Let's get ready to get started with this, with the shout outs. Shout out to all you gentlemen that are here showing some love. I got to shout out to my man, Mad Max, my man, Gary in the building. Numero uno, number one. You see the whole trife and nothing but the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Shout out to you, Gary. My man, Terlanius in the building. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Shout out to you, building. In the building, and Chat Lives Matter here. We got what? We got my dog in the building. Shout out to my man Charles. Hope your health is going great, brother. We got my man Cam B in the building. Yes, sir. You're doing something right. And my man Rico representing. Good evening, Andre and Chat. GJ is representing in the building as well. Bianca Fox. Shout out to Miss Bianca. Representing. Hope that is Miss. Hope I said that correctly. It was a Mr. Forgive me. Kevin Content, I miss. We all miss Kevin. I won't lie. We all miss. There are very few moments that happen. Even with me living in South America, there are very few moments that happen when it comes to the male and female dynamic that it doesn't ripple into the conversations that Kevin had to us over those 5 years, whether it was Kevin talking directly to men or even Kevin giving some advice on women building a better image. He wanted all of us in the Black community to have a better image for each other. I'll say that again. For those of you who let that go over your head when Kevin was alive, Kevin's calling was not just to get Black men and Black women together or white men and white women together. His calling was, he really didn't focus on who you were with as long as you were happy and as long as you were bringing forth the best image of yourself as a man and the best image of yourself as a woman, no matter what race, color, or creed. As long as you were presenting the best image of you. And that's what Kevin's calling was. Shout out to my man, Black Empowerment 01 in the building. Yes, sir. And my man, Kenny People. Shout out to you, Kenny. Always sending me videos. You and my man T. Always sending me some great videos for inspiration. He said cooking noodles tonight with mixed vegetables, gotta have it. And the protein of the chicken strips, lightly fried, of course, and grilled. Yes, sir. That sounds good. That sounds good. Shout out to you, Kenny. He said Tracy is certified Majesty Madam Ellis Ross is a sugar mama. Speaking of sugar mamas, is she not taking off? She's just a feather, I mean a leaf off the branch of her mom. I mean, those of us who are old enough to remember, I don't look at Tracy Ellis Ross with surprise or wonderment, because I grew up with Diana Ross. Was not Diana Ross like this? When was the only time Diana Ross act like she was in a relationship? When she was in movies with Billy D. Williams. Other than that, remember Diana Ross? You could tell that she was taking Michael Jackson's virginity. All you guys that's old enough, remember them days? We was like, is Diana turning out Michael Jackson? Is she trying to put that thing on Mikey? Michael like 21, 22. He was at the peak of his career. He trying to take Brooke Shields' virginity, but Brooke Shields is messing with the other dude. And Michael trying to sit back, but I'm still love you, Brooke. And Diana Ross is like, don't worry about it, Michael. I'm gonna throw that thing on you. You're gonna forget all about Brooks. And we all looking like, and I probably was like 16 and I was catching like, is Diana Ross trying to throw that thing on Mike? Like Vivica was throwing it on 50 when he first blew up? Come on, y'all remember that? I know I ain't the only one that remember that era. We all looking like, Diana, you need to stop. So to sit back and hear Tracy talk like this, really? Are we really surprised, people? Are we really surprised? Remember I said this episode is about that you will eventually get tired. This is not about coming at Tracy Ellis Ross. This is not about specifically what Kevin says. We're going to look at all that. But I kid you not, this episode is about the small part when she talks about that sometimes it can be frustrating and lonely. Did I not tell y'all a lot of the older women not older women, but a lot of the women in general that I smashed, and I've been saying this a long time, that I smashed that had money, the 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house, the 9 feet by 9 feet island in the kitchen. Those are the loneliest women in America. If you ever want to see some lonely women, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, look for a woman, I don't care what color she is, with some money. That's some of the easiest coochie you will ever get, because half the time they smash you because they want the sex, and the other time they don't want you to leave because they want to feel a warm man on that cold side of the bed. Sometimes they want you there just so that other side of the bed is warm. They ain't felt that other side of the bed warm in years. Every time they roll over in the middle of the night, the other side of the bed is ice cold. If they turn over that pillow on the other side of the bed, if they roll on those pillows are ice cold. You in Baltimore, it's ice cold in the wintertime. I don't care how much heat she got in that house. She roll over on the other side of that bed, that California king size bed, it's ice cold. And a lot of those women that got money are so lonely, they like, listen, you come over, smash it, stay over the night. Where you going? Why don't you just stay over the night? I know you got to go to work in the morning. Why don't you just stay over? They just want a warm body. Other than that damn dog. Other than that big dog. Other than that big dog on that bed. Why you think the dog always jealous when you come over? Why you think her dog don't like you? Why you think her cat don't like you? Because you sleep in the nate spot. Them dogs don't like you. Golden retrievers like everybody. Her golden retriever don't like you, do it. Bulldogs like everybody. Her bulldog don't like you, do it. You know why? Because you taking that warm spot where her bulldog or her golden retriever usually lay, but she ain't got no man. So when Kevin Samuel said, buy a dog and die, it's a lot more that goes to it, dude. And I've been over to many of those homes, really nice homes that women got money. God, I'm not denying that part. They have earned that money. They have earned those vacations to Europe. They've earned that convertible Mercedes or Bentley or whatever they got, Bugatti. But bruh, when the needs come out the feed and they get lonely, and some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of the loneliest women that you will come across in your life, that are stressing the heck out are women with money. Not because of the money, but because they have nobody to celebrate it with. They got that big house and all the hallways echo. They be on the phone with their mama. And while they talking, their voices bouncing off the walls in that big ass house. That one you can take to the bank. And they'll come on social media and talk about, we queens, we got this going on, we running things, we don't need no man, toxic masculinity. They'll say all that on social media and call me in the middle of the night. What you doing, big head? I'm sleeping. I gotta go to work in the morning. Why don't you come over? What? Why don't you come over? You go to sleep, you go to work from here. Just grab a suit. You come over here. And you like, I ain't hit that coochie in a couple weeks. I'll be through in about 30. I ain't saying I wasn't going over there hitting it. Shout out to my man Kenny. He said, how the hell Michelle Obama got a podcast as formerly the first? Listen, it's a new era. It's a new era. When you can be president of the United States, run one of the biggest militaries of all time, one of the largest economies you are in charge of 8 years straight, and your woman can still be hood. And your woman can still be hood. Shout out to my man Aiken, the Love Crossing Borders family. Shout out to you guys. My man Jake Anderson is in the building. Shout out to you. We got 36 people in the building. Click the like button. We like you. Make sure you like us too. Our brother says this. He says, salute to the chat. Andre and Andrea, Love Crossing Borders. Appreciate you always. Appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to my man Bobby Coltrane of the Coltrane family. First of his name. Shout out to you. Kenny says this. He said, maybe I need to do a boy toy, how to match. How much would you charge them? You know what? It didn't even start off like that, man. It started off like, it'll start off like sex, right? Okay, cool. Then all of a sudden they'll take you to dinner. Okay, cool. I pay for dinner all the time. You take me to dinner. All of a sudden they take you to dinner and a movie. Then they take you to dinner, a movie, and a concert. Then they're like, how much do you get paid for work? I kid you not, I got that one a couple times. How much do you get paid for work? And I told them how much I get paid for the day. I'll give you triple. You go get, I remember one time, I kid you, I think I told y'all this story. I remember one time a chick, she said, how much you get paid? I said, that's how much you get paid? She said, call your boss, take the day off, I'm gonna pay you triple. Mind you, I'm in the parking lot. I hadn't pulled up in the parking lot maybe 2 minutes. You're getting your briefcase and you're getting yourself together to walk in. Thought I heard Andrea. And so you're getting yourself together. Yes, we did. I'll tell y'all what Andre is smiling about in a second. And I said, all right. I mean, I literally pulled out I'm on the phone with my boss right there at my job in the college parking lot. In the college parking lot. I forgot what excuse I came up with. I ain't gonna say that I was sick. I don't know what excuse I used, but I was out of there gone. I was gone. Bam. I was out of there. And then all of a sudden, just was basically females was just like offering me this, offering me that. I'll pay you this. Now I got my own money. It wasn't like I was some broke dude. But my point is, guys, all the facade that's put on in public, I don't go for it. There are a lot of lonely women out there, bro. They'll say that we're lonely. Our loneliness don't compare to a woman's loneliness because a woman is wired emotionally. Our loneliness is not like theirs. They're wired emotionally and for companionship. A man can sit in a tree with a shotgun looking for deer for 2 days. We're wired to be by ourselves anyway. We can sit up there and wait for that deer to walk by. We sit up there just eating beef jerky and a beer, waiting for that buck to come on through. Women aren't wired like that. Another reason why it's easy to become a boy toy. Y'all ready? We've heard this a plenty of times. Women are tired of being around just women. Women get lonely, even around their girlfriends. There's only so much girlfriend time. There's only so many girl trips. There's only so much girl conversations. There's so much girl advice, so much girl whining that the average woman can take. Most women are like, after a while, like, no, girl, I ain't going out tonight. Why she ain't going out tonight? Because she don't want to go out? No, I don't want to go out with girls again. I've had plenty of females that just want to hang out with your boy just because they were just done with hanging out. Girls this, girls that, girls this, girls rule the world, girl. Okay, cool. But they like, I need a man. I need baritone. I need somebody with bass in their voice. I need somebody that's just gonna listen and ain't gonna try to one-up me with their problems. A lot of times we sit up there as men, when women talking, we just sit up there with our popcorn. Yeah, what happened at work? What? When? But I thought they had twins. You see what I'm saying? We listeners. When they with their girlfriends, everybody just talking over each other, trying to one-up each other on who got the worst problem with what, with a man, with life, with kids. They try to one-up each other, and women get tired of it. Even women that got money, they get tired of it. Okay, you think I'm kidding? Remember like the first 4 seasons of Housewives of Atlanta? Remember those first 4 seasons? Were not each one of those women either in a relationship with or married to men on a level lower than them? Even though these were quality guys, some of them are still with the ladies, but every one of them was with a man that was somewhat a step lower than what they were. One was a supermodel, but she was with Leroy. Another chick, she had money, but she was with the dark-skinned dude with the white beard. You had Candy and her husband. You had the chick that was an attorney, but she fell in love with the light-skinned dude from jail, who just got out of prison. When women are lonely, bruh, it's a whole new ball game. All them little morals, all that what they say on social media. If y'all knew why I'm laughing, all I be hearing women say on social media, I'll be like, really, ladies? Really? You want to put it like that in public? You want to word it like that? Okay. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Shout out to you, my man making coffee. Shout out to you being in the building. We got 42 people in the building. Click the like button. Thank you guys for providing and supporting by way of Cash App, PayPal, as well as other social media outlets. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, Michelle showing her Chicago side too. Bobby says, he said, full well that's the rule. That is the rule. You got to let a 304 be a 304, no matter what country or continent you on, including the States. Shout out to my man Black Scorpion once again, and my man Black Nubian in the building. With the Canadian love. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I think I got everybody, including Big Brother in Life. Yes, sir. Appreciate you being here. And Zero. Me and Zero have had these type of conversations already. Shout out to my man 0 milligram in the building. Hola, hola, hola. Yes, sir. LJV, Southern Vegan, is in the building. Salute to you, kind sir. The Black Muslim brother. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. Even us Christian brothers, peace unto you. Even from us Christian brothers, peace be unto you. Yes, sir. You say, Andre, the wall is it is undefeated. I don't care how good they look under 40, 50. The new way of saying that I'm just an old thought is saying I'm a modern woman. The new way of saying, see, when they're young, they are thoughts. They're a 304. But how can you say it to make it sound classy? How can you say mayonnaise and make it seem like it's not mayonnaise? Just add a little sugar into it and call it Miracle Whip. It's still mayonnaise. It's just a sweeter version of mayonnaise. With 304s or pros or pay for plays or gold diggers when they were young, they just try to use a term, not an over 40. I'm a modern woman. I'm independent. I've made my money. You can tell me anything. Baby, slinging coochie is slinging coochie. Is slinging coochie. Whether you're doing it at 25, whether you're doing it at 35, or if you're at 50 doing it, you're still slinging it. And if you think that, I'm going to say something else to Tracy Ellis Ross. Shout out to all the young dudes that's running through you. All you older women that think that you are hurting the feelings of these young dudes that y'all think, I got me a young dude. Y'all older men can't do it. Y'all do realize that we were once young running through older women like y'all. That's why older dudes, see, you ever notice this? Older men don't get jealous of younger men. You rarely, if ever, hear an older dude talk, oh, forget about that young buck. You know, you had a couple of haters on Austin Hotterman, but for the most part, we're like, go ahead, young man. Do what you do. I was doing worse than that at 23. Go ahead, Austin. Most of us older dudes are cheering Austin on. Good, bad, indifferent, don't matter. Men don't be hating on each other. You know why? Because we know that the older dude is running through you. I mean, the younger dudes are running through you old chicks like we, when we were young, running through you old chicks. You can't sit back and make us feel bad and be mad at the young brothers. We happy for the young brother. Hey, young blood, go on run through Tracy real quick, dog. Hey, young dude, I see what you're doing to Tia. Hey, young blood, I see what you out there doing to Maya, young blood. I see what you're doing. Hey, young buck. Hey, young buck. Hey, youngin. Unc watching you. Unc watching you. Hit that rock. I see what you're doing to Biblical Fox. What? Lisa Ray let you do what? See, I ain't mad at you, young buck. I had him like that when I was your age too, son. We ain't jealous of no young dudes. They doing exactly what we did. They running through you old chicks just like they're running through the young chicks. See, the only difference between an older dude and a younger dude is gonna run through mainly young chicks and a few older chicks. Us older dudes, we don't want to run through but only a couple older chicks, and the same thing, mostly young chicks. You notice that? Young dudes want mainly chicks they age, younger chicks, and a few older chicks. Old dudes want a few older chicks, but mainly all younger chicks. Women, we are simple. Men don't change. We ain't gonna check, girl. You are never gonna be fine enough to where you're gonna have a man that doesn't want a younger version of you. I'm gonna say that again. You could be the most amazing woman on the planet. A man will always say, boy, but if she was 20 years younger, even though we ain't 20 years younger, it's just how men think. Sorry, boo, may not be fair, but that's what it is. Older men think the same way about older women. Younger men think the same way about older women. We only want a few of y'all sprinkled in to our sex lives. Okay, Tracy fine, let me smash her. Maya fine, let me smash her. But as soon as Vivica come along, Vivica, go on with that, Vivica, go on, Vivica, go on. Go on with that, big girl. Ain't nobody got no chitlins for you. Ain't nobody got no chitlins over here. You don't get your tail in somebody's gym and start drinking a gallon of water every day before you walk. Vivica, stop playing. Go on, girl. You know you too big to be walking over here. And we want mainly younger women. Shout out to man Big Wop being in the building. Shout out to you, brother, for being here. He say, don't tell him, Dre. For real. Oh man, y'all just ain't right. And then you always had that one dude that's gonna always simp out. The beauty of an older woman is her experience, brothers, her insight. If it wasn't for the older queens that gave birth to the younger queens, the hypothesis in the Pythagorean theory of love, with the equation of to the square root, you be like, Negro, what? Dude, she got a fat butt or not? No, I ain't messing with her. How old is she? What? 50? Yeah, bruh. I'm 50. And let's say I was single. Y'all ready? Let's say I was single. I'm 50. I will never get no 50-year-old coochie ever again in life. Ever. Even if I was if I was 73 and a quarter. How old is she? She 51. She 51. Mm-mm. 50. Some of us got a quarter, like my cutoff age is like 43. See what I'm saying? 43. If you're 43, you might have made it to the party, depending on how you look. And I'm talking about if I was like 81, 43 is my cutoff age. I will never again. I will never know. Actually, have I ever had any 50-year-old? Nope. I just realized out of all the women I've been with, I have never had 50-year-old coochie. Never. Even when I was 50. It just hit me, man. I have never been with a woman that's 50. I ain't never been. What doing some coochie that old, man? The only thing a 50-year-old coochie could have did for me was introduce me to her daughter. A 33-year-old daughter, that's it. You don't want me? No. Some of y'all reflecting like I just did. See, that's the funny part. We got 50 people in here, and most of you dudes in there reflecting too. Y'all, you know what? I ain't never had no 50-year-old coochie either. Hey, let's do a survey real quick. Put a 1 in the comment section if you have never had any 50-year-old coochie. Put a 1 in the comment section if you have never. I ain't talking about 47. I ain't talking about 49. I'm talking about she done hit 50. And you I've never. That just hit me. Now, thank you, gentlemen. I have never. And some of you dudes my age, 57. I have never been one, man. That just hit me like bing, straight to the chin. You said I don't have them all. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Maybe I just kind of like overlooked it or something. But nope, nowhere near. I mean, nowhere near 50s, man. I think the closest I had was like 40, 44, 45. I think that's the closest I got. Like 40. No. Man, I think maybe 44. And I'm stretching it with 44. Yeah, I ain't never had no 50. And based off of my being married now, I ain't planning on ever having no 50. You see what I'm saying? I'll be so old by the time I drink at 50. Shout out my man, Father of Many Nations, Abraham. Hey, man, that was great that we went to church the other day. That was great that we got a chance to spend some time in church the other day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciated that. We went out to church Easter Sunday, Abraham and I. Let me see if I got a photo of that. I'll pull the photo out later on. Me and my man. Shout out to Abraham. We had a great time. Good service. T-Mac says this. Mike T says this. Shout out to Mike being in the building. Mike says, I was thinking just today when I saw a young tender cross my path. Like, oh, there we go, girl. Don't. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it right, keep it tight, little mama. Keep it right, keep it tight. So we're gonna get started with the videos in a second. But before we do, shout out to all you guys that have been supporting the book sale. Shout out to all you guys that have been supporting the book sale, man. Listen, here we have been doing big things together, gentlemen. Let me see if I can pull that up on the screen. We have been doing big things together. We turn the music down too. And I am so happy to make certain announcements. For all you guys that have been supporting, let me turn the music. I actually might even change the music. Let's use Andrea's smooth music. Let's use Andrea's smooth music. All right. Now let me pull this screen up, and then want to pull the video up in a few moments because I really want to get started with this Tracy Ellis Ross situation. Like I said, everybody's going to get tired. Tracy and them, all these women trying to act like they don't get tired. They're going to get tired of just slinging that coochie like that because you can't be doing it for the rest to the end of time. And you ain't got no kids. Shh. Your nieces and nephews gonna grow up, Tracy. Being a rich auntie only lasts so long. Nieces and nephews grow up and they get their own family. Some of these women that want to be the rich auntie, that's cool when your kids, when your nieces and nephews are like 12, 13. Once they hit 23, 24, that rich auntie, they don't even talk to you no more. They may call you every 6 months. Yeah. They didn't think about that part of rich auntie. They didn't think about that part at all. Shout out to all you guys out there who have been supporting the book sale, purchasing the book. Appreciate you guys. We ended up this, I think I haven't announced it, but we end up on the Amazon number 3. When it came to budget travel books, we have made it to number 3 for the budget travel book genre. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. And we also got our other book, Travel, 44 Laws of Travel. I kid you not. And we got the other book, Stop Making Excuses, gentlemen, ladies. So we got all 3 books. They're doing great on Amazon. Make sure you guys, I just dropped the link. Make sure you guys leave reviews. We got 3 reviews on the others. You don't have to purchase anything to leave a review. We got 26 reviews. Man, we are doing great, man. Doing great with the 26 reviews. Hopefully we can get 4 more tonight. So I'm asking you guys, I dropped the link. Could you leave 4 more reviews? If you purchased the book, that's cool. If you haven't purchased, you just click right here where it says, you click on the book. And right underneath the book, it says read sample. You can read the first 2 chapters of the book absolutely free. Absolutely free. So you go right here. You got the table of contents, all that information. First thing is why consider moving abroad. Part 2 is overcoming your excuses about moving abroad. And then part 3 is the financial affordability of relocating. Can you afford to relocate? And then part 4 is your pre-move costs. Before you move to another country, let's calculate some of your costs. And then let's scroll on down a little bit and let's look for part 5, which is finding the right country to relocate to. Everybody's country is not the same. Some guys have moved to Brazil and then end up being happy in Colombia. Some guys have moved to Colombia and now are happy in Brazil. So it depends on what country you want to move to. And then we've gone down to, let's look at part 6 right here. And it says earning a living abroad. So I help you when it comes to, I put in chapters, 5 to 6 chapters on how to make money when it comes to earning a living. And I also help you when it comes to real estate deals and finding real estate and not get scammed by your landlords in any country. Part 7 is earning a living abroad. Once again, like part 6 was earning a living, and part 7 also did another breakdown of earning a living abroad. It said you can find remote work overseas as well as government contract work. I did a chapter in regards to that. And then you will come down to section 8. Let's look for section 8 real quick. I see 9 right here. I don't see where I got section 8. We got part 7. Let's just go to part 9. Oh, part 8 right here. Long-term affordability and security. Long-term affordability and security. So part 9 is thriving in your new home. And the last chapter right here, which will be part 10, part 9, and let's look at part 10. Your affordable international life is waiting for you. There's no such thing as the perfect time. If there's any chapter that's extremely important, is there's no such thing as the perfect time, gentlemen. Don't wait for that. It doesn't exist. It's like waiting for the perfect time to get married or the perfect time to have a baby. We all know there is no perfect time to do these things. So shout out to all you guys. And shout out to all you guys that have been sending me photos of your books being delivered. You guys have been sending me a lot of pictures. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to my man Necro being in the building. He's saying, evening, Andre and fellows, Blue Book gentlemen, salute to you. Salute to you as well, kind sir. My man Marcus, he said, can you imagine black women foolishness we would be experiencing if Kamala had won? You know what? Between Kamala's foolishness and Trump's foolishness, I don't even know which one would have been the worst. I don't even know. All I know, he said, I got the book today. Shout out to you, Cam. Shout out to you. I just got today, I got the hardback. I just got the hardback copy of the 44 Laws of Travel. The first law you guys often hear me say, just gotta love it. Just gotta love it, man. And in here, I do give a shout out to you guys. I do give a shout out to you. And the first chapter is, this book is a weapon. Use it wisely. This book is a weapon. Use it wisely. And so one of the first things I talk to you about, which I often mention on the show, is the 7 C's. Whenever you are traveling the 7 C's. What do I mean by that? Am I talking about Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Mediterranean Sea? No. What I'm talking about in the book are the 7 C's. First C you want to take with you is your common sense. Second C you want to take with you when you travel, like I always say, your condoms, your cash, or your credit cards. The next C is contacts. Number 4 is contacts. You don't want to go to another country and you don't have my contact of other brothers, or the contact to your Airbnb host. Sometimes I'll drop you guys off at your Airbnb and you don't even have the host's phone number. Make sure you have your contacts. Number 5 is copies. Make sure you have a copy in your phone of your passport. If you got traveler's insurance, make sure you take a photocopy of that policy. Make sure you have your copies. Number 7 is of the 7 C's. As we all know, bring your colognes, gentlemen. Bring your colognes. Shout out to you. So got this book. This is about 350 pages. So it's not a small book at all. I didn't sugarcoat it at all, gentlemen. In this, I put on the back of the book, you will learn how to set up offshore banking. Yes, you will. To protect your assets. I'll show you how to do tax strategies, as well as travel tips, how to avoid legal traps and bureaucracy, bureaucratic headaches when it comes to getting your visa, moving with cultural intelligence. Some of us don't use cultural intelligence when we go to these other countries. We just want to be American, and you better accept me for who I am. Well, it's not like that. You're going to have to use some cultural intelligence if you're going to maneuver through these countries safely. In other words, the cultural intelligence in Brazil is completely different from the cultural intelligence that you can use in Costa Rica. So you got to be able to know the difference between the two. How to keep yourself, your family safe, stable, and legally secure in all these other countries. How to protect yourself from how to protect yourself as a female traveler to high risk environments. So I do write sections in here in regards to the females. And if you are looking to start businesses in other countries, how to structure your business and your life for freedom, mobility, and resilience. So I wrote this book for guys that are thinking about traveling to other countries, and what behind the scenes things that I've learned from doing over 250 consultations with you guys, studying travel, the history of travel. I studied the history of travel, the history of migration, and I studied that in order to put together the 44 laws of travel. You guys will thank me for that one. You'll thank me for that one. And I got the hard copy. Of Anywhere Possible, how to live in 60% of the world's, thanks, babe. How to live in 60% of the world's upper middle class on $2,500 a month. That's not going to be our video for tomorrow. We're going to look at more countries. So we got the hard copy that you can order. Very nice. Very nice. So you guys can order that one anytime you want to. And numero 3 is stop making excuses. 28 days to crushing your fears, your distractions, your complacence, your discouragement, and your complacency. These are the things that held me back. These are the things that as I studied people that are successful, those were the things that held them back. I'll say this again. These are the things that I noticed that held people back. And once they got past their excuses, I was trying to figure out what was the one thing that made some people successful in life and some people not successful. And it wasn't about money. It wasn't about connections only. It wasn't about, well, I got the hookup. I found that most people don't succeed in this one opportunity called life because most of us got too many excuses. Too many excuses. You got excuses for why you don't go to the gym. You got excuses why your relationships don't work out. You got excuses why you didn't apply for that job. You got excuses why you didn't invest in crypto earlier. You got excuse for everything. You got an excuse for everything, but you really have an explanation. And I was like that. My life was built on excuses. And as long as I had excuses, there was no success at all. It was a little bit a hint there, a hint there, but it was never any consistency. And that's what life works on. It goes on an upward trajectory once you're consistently going up. I would go up and then come back and go up. You would not want to be on the airplane if I was the pilot at that time period. It would seem like the plane was going to be consistent, then it would just go down, then it would come back up, then it would go down. You don't want me flying that plane at that time period. Once I stopped making excuses and I overcame excuses in 4 major areas. My fears, meaning something that I was worried about. My distractions, meaning I was letting females or things distract me from my goals. My discouragement, I would see you fail at something, so I would think I was going to fail at it too. I would see you blame the white man, so I would blame the white man. I would see you get mad at the Latin brother, so I'll be mad at the Latin brother. I would see you hate on the sisters, so I'm hating on the sisters too. I was letting my experiences and your experiences cause me to be discouraged. And then lastly, complacency. I was getting too comfortable with my successes. Most of us don't get complacent with our failures. We get complacent with our successes. Oh man, I made 100,000 this year. I'm good. Man, I smashed plenty of chicks in the States. I don't need a passport. Oh man, this food in the United States good. I just put it on the barbecue grill. It'll be fine. We complacent. That's why 68% of all Americans will die within a 50-mile radius of our home, of the hospital in which we were born in. 68% of Americans, according to American Van Line, the moving company, they did a survey years ago and they do an updated version every year. It used to be 72%, now it's 68%. 68% of all Americans will die within a 50-mile radius of the hospital in which you were born because we are too dang complacent. We are comfortable as heck no matter how successful we get. You should never be that complacent. I didn't say be uncomfortable, but you should not be complacent enough in life to where you're not going forward. Yep, no, there is no excuse for you not to have your money in XRP. He is not lying. I don't care if you just say, I'm gonna throw a couple $100 off in there and see where it goes. There is no excuse. Absolutely correct, Marcus. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And when I saw, and a lot of my stories are in here. A lot of my stories in all the books. I kid you not. I'm telling you one part before we get to the video, right? In this book, Anywhere Possible, I told a true story about me. I used to have a song that used to haunt me. And I put it in the first chapters of the book. And I'm gonna tell you what it was. But I go in great detail in the book. It's kind of funny because we're talking about Ross, Diana Ross, off of Tracy Ellis Ross. It was Diana Ross, Mahogany, Do You Know? Some of you guys who have read the book, the first chapters, you know what I'm talking about. In this book, I tell the story of the song that haunted my life for years was, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Year in, year out. I never told anybody. This is the first time I ever told you guys, because this is the first time I ever told anybody in the book. My family doesn't even know. That song haunted me. Gotta be 20 years. 20 years that song haunted me because I was living with excuses. I had excuse for everything. That song haunted me because I didn't know where I was going to. And that's what the part that haunted me. Do you know where you're going to? I didn't know where I was going with life. I did not know. Even though I was making money, I didn't know where life was taking me. I knew my money was going, but I didn't know where I was going with life. I knew my money was progressing, but I wasn't progressing as a person off work. I would just go home, go to the gym. That was it. That was life. Smash chicks. That was it. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life? I did not like what life was showing me. I like what my bank account was showing me. I like what the females were showing me between their legs and down their throat. But I didn't like what life was showing me. Where are you going to? Do you know? Once I stopped making excuses, everywhere was possible. Kid you not. I kid you not. And the book also starts off with remember the brother that was the ex-CIA agent that's been blowing up over YouTube over the past couple. Now the sniper been blowing up over YouTube too, the ex-sniper brother. But the ex-CIA agent, I start off the chapter with him. The whole book starts off with him asking when he was on the YouTube channel, Diary of a CEO. And the Diary of the CEO guy asked him, why are you leaving the United States by 2030? He said, I'm not leaving by 2030. I'm leaving by 2027. Him and his wife are ex-CIA agents. He used to also be the guy to carry around his neck one of the nuclear code keys. That was his job. Like literally the guy to put the key in for the nuclear codes. Like literally, like that guy. And even he, after being a CIA agent in the United States and have the nuclear code, even he says, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. He said, I'm not staying here. He says, I'm out of here. Let me go to that section right there. Because like I said, it was at the beginning chapters of why are so many Americans leaving the United States? And it says, why are you going to leave the United States by 2027? And Andrew Bartamate, a former CIA intelligence officer and U.S. Air Force combat veteran, was asked this question during an interview on Diary of a CEO podcast. This former U.S. spy, whose job was to possess one of the nuclear weapon keys, stated that he and his wife, a retired CIA agent, relocating to South America. And here's the key. They're not running away, but they are running towards something better. And that's how the first chapter opens up. I didn't run away from the United States. I was running towards something better. You guys aren't running away from Canada. You aren't running away from UK. You're running towards something better. Now, people in the United States going to say, man, you just running away. You can't hack it. Let them think what they want to think. Let's get started with the video. Shout out to you guys, man, for supporting, purchasing the books, and then sending me videos and leaving. Like I said, leave a review. Leave a review. You do not have to purchase to leave a review, but it really does help push the book up the algorithm. And right now we're at number 3. I'm so happy for us, man. I really am. Let's get started with the video. Let us get started with the video. Let me pull that up for us. There we go. I'll turn the music down.
Age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. I'm sorry. No.
Hey, Brian.
All right, yeah. Tracy Ellis Ross, beautiful, all that, Diana Ross's daughter, talented, can act and all that, But at the end of the day, this kind of thinking, this kind of logic will have women single forever. Tracy Ellis Ross, you will be single forever. If you think a man being a man is called toxic masculinity, you will never find love, okay? You will be single forever with this logic if you do not change it.
Correct.
Straight up.
And, you know, as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
She just said that it does happen when she has grief because she doesn't have any kids and she doesn't have a partner. What did I just say earlier? One of the things that I recognized when I was a boy toy, those women didn't want me. They liked my company, but they didn't want me. They wanted to stop the grief of loneliness. They wanted the other side of the bed to no longer be cold, if only for one night. If only for one night. The Tracy Ellis Ross is out there. And some of you guys can attest to this. Females will have you come over to stay the night in the wintertime. You can tell them, hey, if I drive over there, girl, I ain't driving back home in this snow. I know. In Florida, I've had females tell me when it's hurricane season, could you come over and stay with me? If all you Florida dudes, stop me when I'm lying. If you single in Florida, you got the pick of the litter. Females are hitting you up on text messages. Should I go over her house for the hurricane? Should I go over her house? Or should I go over? Yeah, some of them did pay, Brian. Or should I go over her house for the hurricane? I told you I had one chick drove to my house through the hurricane. I was like, it ain't that serious. I am not driving across the bridge. St. Pete, Tampa are separated by a bridge. It's not that long, but it is a bridge. And that water comes up high during a hurricane. I'm not driving across a bridge for me in the middle of a hurricane. This female drove across a bridge. And I was on my way to another chick house. When women get lonely, that emotion, like I said, men are kind of like wired for being by ourselves. We can have a lonely moment and just kind of like push it to the side. Women aren't wired like that because their loneliness is connected to their emotions as well. And a lot of times y'all done had women come, y'all didn't even recognize it. Y'all thought some of those women liked y'all. No, they like having somebody in their house or somebody around them or coming over to your house. In other words, not being lonely more than they liked you. Stop me when I'm lying that you'd have had a woman that hung in your life a lot longer because she knew that once y'all broke up, she was going to be by herself. She was going to be lonely. So she hung around and tolerate you a few more years. And the reason why I say tolerate it, because you was doing dirty. And she still wasn't going to go nowhere. I just don't want to be lonely. Yeah, that bridge. Yeah, you know that Gandhi Bridge. That Gandhi Bridge from St. Petersburg to Tampa. Just riding across. I'm like, what? Girl, I'm not even at the house. Shout out to my man Growth Talk. Code forbid in the building. He said, me, if I come over there and then it starts storming, he said, I ain't driving back in that weather. I know that. He said, no, I know that. That's why I said come over. That's so true. A lot of times women doing snowstorms, electrical storms, just bad weather, they gonna call you, bro. They don't like that. In that big house with that electrical storm go cacoon. They don't like that. The lights go out and they in a 5-bedroom house, 2 stories, voice echoing up, and all they hearing is walking downstairs is the dog and the cat, and that sounds scary. Man, please, y'all just do not know how lonely women with money get. Let's go back to Tracy. Yep, dollar cost average. For real. That's serious. Let's go back.
That's a great point for people to hear.
Yes. I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done. And I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends. And the reasons though because I had to ask myself that question. I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just.
That's y'all favorite word in the States. That's y'all favorite word right there in the States, partner. She want a partner. They don't want a man. They want a partner. They want somebody that is equal to them as a woman, but just so happen to be a man. I'm gonna say this again. They want it to be a dynamic to where as if it was two females next to each other, but you just so happen to be a man. Partner. Where did that term partner come from? Remember the LGBTQ community couldn't get married? And so they started calling each other partners. And who hangs out with the LGBTQ community? Women. And so when they sit back and they hear women, they hear the LGBTQ community before they could get married, always saying, well, me and my partner, well, me and my partner, well, you know, my partner. So all they heard was the LGBTQ community saying partner, partner, partner. And so if you notice over the last 5 years, they've been shoving that down the man's throat so much to where now I'm hearing men all over social media use that term partner. Could you guys, all you men that like to use that term partner, could you name a time in human history and the continent that used that term other than now? I'll wait. Put it in the comments. Name the time in human history where men and women used the term partner with each other other than the last 5 years. And that's after the LGBTQ used to do it. There is none. No part of the continent of Africa, no part of the continent of South America, no part of the continent of North America, no part of the continent of Asia, Australia. I mean, we can go into the Arctics. No part of none. There is no continent ever in human history. In human history, have we ever used a term called partner? Either you were a husband or you weren't. Either you were a wife or you weren't. But now because LGBTQ said it and your girlfriend hanged out with LGBTQ and you hang out with your girlfriend, now here come men are starting to use, right, dance partner, that's it. Now you got males all over social media using a term that males have never used in human history. Ever. You can look up the definition of partner and nowhere in the definition does it give you a sentence structure that had to do with marriage or relationships. You can't even be in a dang spelling bee as a 12-year-old kid. Partner. Excuse me, could you use that word in a sentence? Yes, your mother and father are partners. You can't even use that in a spelling bee. There is nobody using that term except for you all in the States. Ain't nobody talking about no partner in Europe. Ain't nobody in Asia talking about partner. Ain't nobody in Spanish using the term partner. Only those that hang out with the LGBTQ crowd. And I'm not hating on the LGBTQ, but what I'm saying is that's where it originally started. Let's go back to the video, gentlemen. I'm not going to interrupt her all night.
That I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous? There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped.
You hear Michelle Obama? You hear Michelle Obama? Tracy Ellis is describing, why am I smashing or letting young men smash me? Why am I letting these young dudes run through me like that? Tracy says, other than they're gorgeous, you know, younger men are gorgeous. What does Michelle say? Oh, yes, they are. That part right there. Let's run it back. This y'all president's wife. This y'all president's wife. This y'all president's wife sitting up there with a 12-year-old girl's haircut. This y'all girl showing her Chicago. She straight co-signed. Oh, yes, they are. Them young boys out there. Oh, look, if I was not married, if Barack died today, I'd give me one of them young pretty boys and use all his presidency retirement money.
Older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up
In other words, why is it that she's still smashing young dudes? Why does this keep coming up? That's what she's saying. Here we go.
Then they're hot and gorgeous. There's that.
They are hot and gorgeous. Michelle, what you trying to say? What you trying to tell us, Michelle? That's what we're just trying to find out. I know, you know, all humans got eyes. We ain't saying that, Michelle. But you former president, first lady, you can't say what everybody says. And you can't wear everybody's weave and hairstyle, Michelle. No, Michelle. No. You showing your Chicago just a little too much, Michelle. You showing us too much of the Midwest. She's showing too much of the shy. And you say Shy City. She's showing too much of the shy.
Shy City. Coming home again. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will. The reason not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
Notice the brother. This is Michelle's brother. This is Michelle Obama's brother. The question he asked her, is it a generational thing? Your mama was a young thought. You was a young thought. Your mama became an old thought. You're old thought. Is it a generational thing? Don't let that one slide by. He asking her, listen, is it a generational thing? Your mama used to be a thought when she was young. She was running up on young dudes too. She was trying to get the Michael pants as much as possible. She all over Michael Jackson. Could no female in the country get close to Michael Jackson? Every time you turn around, Diana Ross is all over that young boy. You couldn't get Michael with a photo shoot by himself if you paid Michael to take the photo himself. Diana was going to be photo bombing. Now Tracy, here she go. Brian, you went around. Brian, come on, Brian, you old enough. All of us who's old enough, all of us who were old enough, sees, we remember that era, don't you? It was about a year and a half, man. Everywhere Mike went, Diana was photobombing. She clawing all over him, kissing all over him. Could no chick get close to Mike for about a good 2 years. Remember that? Mike had to go get Elizabeth Taylor to hang out with to get rid of Diana Ross. He said, let me go hang out with some white women. He went and got Elizabeth Taylor and Brooke Shields. Diana Ross is working his last nerve. Some of you guys were too young. You weren't around for that one. I remember that one. Everybody was like, what? Diana. So when this brother just asked, is it a generational thing? Is it a generational thing? Right.
And the reason not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
Too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization,
Yeah.
but because I have dated men my age,
Yeah.
there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something.
Okay. When you were younger, smashing older chicks, if the older chick says she got gay friends, did you care? See, she tried to make it seem like, yes, younger men are more fluid. They're more open. They just are more. Lady, I wish I could tell you the truth. Younger dudes just don't give a dang. Dude, stop me when I'm lying. When you were smashing older chicks, I don't care if you were 22 and she was 30. Did you care about her political affiliations? Did you care about how gay her hairstylist was? What about if she had 3 gay brothers and a gay sister? You ain't cared nothing about that. You were smashing. You wasn't sitting up there having intellectual, stimulating conversation with that older chick. You was there to learn. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. See what I'm saying? I want to feel what love is. I want you to show. That's all you were thinking about. These women are thinking that we care because we don't say nothing. I'm going to say that again. A lot of times women think we care because we don't say nothing about them having fluent friends, or a lot of times they think we're open because she might be letting another dude or 2 or 3 other dudes get that coochie throughout the week, and because you don't say nothing, you must be open. He's young and open. Babe, if I smash you every Wednesday and Friday, and you let Keith and them smash throughout the week, I don't care. I'm gonna put a condom on and still be running down your throat. I'm a young dude. I don't care about who you smash on the other side. I'm smashing Tracy Ellis Ross down her throat and busting on her face. You think I care about who smashing you on Wednesday? So she's sitting back thinking that we are open-minded as young dudes. No, we ain't. We just don't give a dang. We know exactly what to care about. Why? Because we don't want to chase that old coochie off. Let's be real. We did not want to chase that old coochie off because, old chicks are sensitive about everything. So we was like, keep your mouth shut and she'll keep on sucking. Right? Let's be real with it. We back in the barbershop. We ain't in the beauty salon no more. We back in the barbershop. We knew when we 19. We like my man Omar Epps in the movie Juice. He had old girl from In Vogue, right? He young. That was us. We young, but we got one that looked like the one from In Vogue, right? We don't care what she got to say about politics. We too young to give a damn about politics anyway. We ain't got no gay friends, so we don't care nothing about her LGBTQ affiliation. We got 2 gay cousins, and that's as far as we got in our family. We don't know nothing about what she's talking about. A lot of times women think that we are open-minded because we keep our mouths closed. We know to keep our mouths closed, to keep your legs open, ladies. I'm going to say that again. We keep our mouths shut so you can open them legs. The more we close our mouth, the wider you open up your legs. So who are we to open up our mouth to interrupt the LGBTQ when I know that your coochie is fire? If I know I got Tracy Ellis Ross about to bust a nut when I go up in her, you think I'm gonna be talking about how I feel about political landscape of the Trump administration? Heck, no, I know to keep my mouth quiet about Trump. Tracy got this 10-bedroom house. I'm a youngin'. I ain't got no 10-bedroom house. I'm gonna keep my mouth quiet about everything. I ain't even no Christian no more. For the last, hey Tracy, what you need me to be? Muslim today? I'm Muslim, brother. What you need me to? I'm Christian tomorrow? I'm Christian tomorrow. Why? Because I ain't gonna open up my mouth and say nothing that's gonna I ain't talking about politics or religion or sports. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm about to beat up Tracy Ellis Ross. Same thing with Maya and all the rest of them chicks. They think that because you're young, you're open-minded. And it's a new generation. Boo, them young dudes are doing exactly what we did. That's why us older dudes can tell you what they doing, because we did it. We had an older chick and we knew to keep our mouths shut. Boy, you better keep on focusing on that sex. She about to show you something magical. Oh my God, she about to suck it from the back. Let me watch this. You got an old chick about to suck it from the back. You think you gonna open up your mouth talking about some Kamala? Mm-mm. 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 This chick is delusional. Young dudes know, keep your mouth shut. And them legs will keep on spreading open. No, why these women think that they got the upper hand?
As basic as
Right,
that,
yeah.
that there's
No, I
times
hear you.
where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like.
Listen to Michelle, co-signing. Wow, you guys are so outdated. You older men are outdated. Where's your horse and buggy when it comes to? Michelle gonna keep on talking. I'm gonna think Barack got somebody on the side. Michelle gonna keep on talking, and I'm gonna think Barack got somebody on the side. I'm gonna start thinking that this is a business relationship. The kids are older, ain't nobody in the house. You go your way, I go mine. We just be like this on camera, smiling in front of everybody. Where's your horse and buggy? Where's your horse and buggy? Yeah, that's what that is. She dreaming. She's sitting back like, man, boy, girl, I'm gonna talk to you after this show. How I can get me a youngie on the side. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, absolutely. You think ain't nobody else got that coochie from Beyonce since Jay-Z got her? We all know Jay-Z out there doing it. Take that. You think ain't nobody hit Beyonce? Ain't nobody, male or female. Y'all are crazy. He said them. You guys are outdated. What do you mean that you don't have sex with men and women? Yeah, the last time we saw somebody try to have sex with men and women, they got scopolamine in Colombia. So, yeah, nah. No, that's all right.
Like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, and he co-signing. Oh, so the brother co-signing too. He bringing with the jokes too. The chamber pot. Oh, saying we got a bedpan. So now we see what type of wife Barack got. Thank you, Barack. Thank you. No wonder you couldn't get nothing done. You couldn't even get your dick sucked. I got you. Got you, Barack. I don't blame you, bro. I'm serious, Baraki. Baraki, I ain't mad at you, bro. The more Michelle talked, the more I believe that, yeah, Barack got him a side chick. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad. The way she acting, she done took some of those Oprah Winfrey pills. She done lost 30 pounds overnight. Come on now. Michelle ain't been in the gym like that. Michelle ain't been doing Pilates like that. Remember, Michelle used to be thick. Michelle looking like, come on, man. Come on, Michelle done lost all, man, skin and bones now. When last time somebody said Michelle looks sexy? They don't. Not no more. Skin and bones. She talked to Oprah and said, what's them pills that you taking, girl? Girl, all you need to take is these pills and your weight will magically disappear. You think it's a coincidence that these chicks have been in the gym for 40 years, 40 nights, ain't lost a pound? Soon as these magical pills come out in Hollywood, all of a sudden, everybody just losing weight overnight. And like we supposed to believe that Michelle was the only one that didn't take the magic pills. She went and got some of them Oprah pills. Boom. Boom. Took them things down like Skittles. For real. This is a whole new day. I don't give head. You ain't got to, Michelle. Women don't realize you don't do it, you ain't got to. I don't give head. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to. I don't just suck. You ain't got to. Somebody's going to, but you ain't got to. Someone is going to, but you ain't got to. Believe you me. And my wife in there in the other room, she hear how I talk. So just in case you wonder, maybe Andre's not here and maybe Andre just talking that bull. No, we had these type of conversations all the time about our responsibility with each other and how other couples should have responsibility with each other. That's serious. I didn't say she ever looked serious, sexy. I said people said she was sexy. I never thought Michelle Obama was attractive. Never. I never said she was ugly. You know how some chicks just be like, like some people are just average looking. Like most of us are average looking people, right? Most of us are average. Michelle is in that party too. We just hyped her up because Michelle Obama, Barack's wife. So when he was president, we were kind of hyping her up, but I never was attracted to Michelle. Not saying that she's, like I said, I'm not saying that she's ugly. I'm just saying that she's average. Let's put it like this. I wouldn't say nothing to her if she was in Colombia. If Michelle Obama was single, the young Michelle Obama, and she was in Colombia, I walk right past her. I wouldn't even notice her. And this ain't no shade. I wouldn't notice her. I know some of y'all gonna cut this clip and be like, Andre hating on Michelle Obama. No, I'm not. I'm just being honest. She just looks like the rest of us, just regular people. Brian said, what about professional married women? I didn't get it. Shut up, my man being in the building. Let me know what you mean, Brian. She want to give you head sometime. Other chick will. Yep. And a whole lot more. Absolutely correct. Yeah, that butterface. Everything look good but the face.
Your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up. That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating. And I have not do it again. I've come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me. You know, I mean, like I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me. Or someone sets me up or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they, you know, have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Come up with.
Men are not selecting Tracy Ellis Ross's. Not for marriage. She can still get it. There are a lot of guys who would slay that easy. Would have no problem.
Marco.
Even being seen with her in public. But would a man that she wants do it? Let's say, imagine the man that Tracy Ellis Ross would get. Chances are he would be younger. Maybe some up and coming young actor. Can you imagine a woman like Tracy Ellis Ross with a 58-year-old CEO of a Fortune 50 company, an accomplishment? No, they needed a completely different woman. And that's the ultimate point. The longer you're by yourself, the less likely you are a good fit for anybody else. Tonight we were going to talk about high value versus finesse, but this is important. Here's some things, ladies. I'm going to ask you, ladies, especially you women over 35, what are you going to be willing to give up?
Well, we got another one. Tracy Ellis Ross is another black woman who resents getting 50 without getting married and having children. I guess all of that, I don't need no man, is backfiring. I guess when you get 50 and older, you start to realize what you missed out on. But I got the solution. Tracy Ellis Ross, I'm single, you single, we should mingle. You know, you're single, I'm single, we should mingle. Maybe we could get married. I don't know. But to everyone else outside their proposal, hit me back. The rest of y'all, don't
drive it as.
She's sliding them. She's sliding them.
Whatever you want to discuss. Listen.
That just sound like justifying toxic femininity.
Why is this? What does toxic femininity have to do with this particular situation? She's not sitting up there talking about feminism and being a feminist. Her lived experience is, you're right, she's Diana Ross's daughter. She's been famous since she was in the fucking womb. She's a fucking unicorn. And I use that term because there really is not a lot of women or people that can understand what her life has looked like.
All that sounds good, but as a unicorn, she's still a thought. All that history of her family and her people sounds good, doesn't it? I'm from Detroit. Diana's from Detroit. Sounds good, doesn't it? Real good. None of that matters when you're throwing that coochie around. You still a thought. Tracy, you were thought when you were young and famous on the show Girlfriends. You was a thought back then. Dudes was just thinking Kanye was running. How long she stayed with Kanye? It wasn't even 6 months, was it? Let's be real. They didn't even last a year. It had to be like 6 months. By the time we discovered Kanye was running through her, it was over. Same thing with 50. Let's be real. By the time we found out 50 was running up in Vivica Fox, it was over, wasn't it? Just like Lisa Ray and her marriage. Just soon as we found out Lisa Ray was marrying the governor or mayor or president of Turks and Caicos, it was over. Soon as we found out, it was over. Yeah, even Jeezy. she was a young thought. Now, they put a new title on it, call it being a modern independent woman, but it's just being a old thought. Some of us love the beauty of women. I was a dirty young man. I liked looking at the ladies and their beauty. Dirty young man. Guess what I'm gonna be when I'm an old dude? A dirty old man. Men don't need to put a new title on nothing. Men know how they're gonna be. I looked at women and they big butt and they nice thighs when I was 20. I looked at it when I was 15. I looked at their breasts and their waistline when I was 27. Now I'm 77. Guess what I'm looking at? The exact same thing. Bishop Jakes, no matter how old he got, he was still noticing on women like, girl, you need to be loose. Woman, thou art loosed. No matter how old the pastor get, he can get it. Y'all ever notice that? No matter how old the pastor gets, pastor can have gout, 1 foot cut off. Don't matter. He's pastor. He can get it. At the end of the day, you could be a young thought, Tracy, by having all these famous people run up in you. You could be an old thought and have all these famous people run up in you. You still a thought. So to give her pedigree doesn't mean anything if you thoughtin'. How many dudes do we know that were NFL players? Okay. Pedigree matters. Pedigree matters. How many people in the regular world know how great O.J. Simpson was as a football player? Regular people in the regular world, not us sports fans. Regular people in the regular world. How many of them know how great the first person to run for 2,000 yards? How great Orenthal James Simpson was? Very few. The average person in the United States don't know him for his pedigree. They know him for what? The Bronco, the case, the glove. If it don't fit, you must have quit. That's what they know him for. Even though this man's pedigree, Hall of Fame pedigree, he's still in the top running backs of all time, top football players of all time. If you've never seen Orenthal run that football, before there was a Barry Sanders, right after there was a Gale Sayers, there was Orenthal James Simpson. OJ was a beast for a team. He was just like Barry Sanders. He didn't have no team, no blockers, no receivers, no quarterback. It was just him and a football and defense. Just like Barry Sanders. And he had to get in the mud. But most people don't know that. So why Miss Mama right here is telling pedigree? Because she's another one that dudes are running through to this day. Melissa Ford is another one. Was a young thought, left her boyfriend. She already told her story a couple months ago. She left her Canadian boyfriend, so she go thought it up in Hollywood. And she said I was exploring, I was discovering. You was thoughting. And then now you's an old thought. For real. Even running through the Hertz commercials. Melissa Ford is just there's nothing going on but thoughts circling the wagon with Tracy Ellis. Tracy Ellis is in the middle and they all circling the wagons. That's all this is. That's all this is. He was a sports legend, absolutely. Like I said, if you guys haven't had a chance to look at some O.J. Simpson highlights lately, you need to be reminded how great this man was on the football field. We talking about this man was easily in the top, at least top 25 greatest players of all time, at least in the top 10 greatest running backs. At least in the top 10 greatest running backs. This man was a monster on that football field. With no blockers, no receivers, no quarterback, no tight end, no winning season, just like Barry Sanders. Doesn't matter. He's passed on. I wouldn't care if he did it or not. I wouldn't care. Both of them have passed on, and the other gentleman that was there, he passed on. Who am I to guess? The Bible says, who are you to take a speck out of your neighbor's eye when you got a big log sticking out of your own eye, Andre? So who am I to question? And OJ was funny. Yeah, all his movies, all the movies he was in. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to OJ, man. Show OJ some love. Let's continue on.
Famous from being a child and living, and probably having access to wealth, and then becoming famous in her own right and having an enormous amount of success from girlfriends and then Blackish. Like, her lived experience is extremely unique, and so it's really difficult to apply every.
Her experiences are not unique. Her life and her pedigree is unique, but when the what we're talking about. What Tracy was talking about is relationships. She's not talking about her career. She's not talking about her mama pedigree. She's not talking about her mama's songs. She's talking. Tracy says, I like them young. I like them young pretty boys. I like them young boys I can teach stuff to. I like them young open-minded guys. If I wanted a threesome, he ain't gonna trip. If I told him I'm gonna bring two dudes up in here, he ain't tripping. They both gonna run up in me. That's what Tracy wants. She want a dude that's cool enough to where if she want to be in the middle of a threesome with two dudes, she needs two young dudes that's open-minded. Us older dudes like, what? Nah, girl, I'm good. Melissa gonna stop it because she the exact same way.
They kind of standards and thoughts to to what she's experienced.
Man,
Okay, hold up for a second.
I agree with that.
That was awesome, first of all.
But it's still both of those things can be true.
Yes.
I'm who I am, the same way these
You're right.
Wait, I want to start before I forget, because you asked me a question. I think anybody operating from I think anything that's operating in trauma or rooted in trauma is toxic. Guy or girl.
Ooh.
Okay, so why are you using the word trauma, though?
Because you said she's based on her past life experience.
Lived experience.
And trauma with these types of controlling men.
You all use the word trauma. I just said lived experience. I'm not using the word trauma.
You didn't, but he did.
Let me land
Okay.
and then have a blast with it. When I mentioned getting new experiences, you countered with her lived experience. So if you are afraid of new experiences or shaping your experiences to only be one way because of your trauma from your lived experiences,
cut that oven on.
I'm calling that trauma, which is why I highlighted Tracy Ellis Ross's ability to get any man in the world, and there's 7 billion men in the world.
Yeah.
1. 2, I think the mere existence of her contradicts her point. Because her point is, I'm this age. The men that I'm meeting in my age bracket are leftovers. I'm running into the worst of the worst.
Your words, not hers.
I think that's I ain't get that.
Oh, that's what I'm getting from what. All right, so maybe I'm off base.
I can tell you what I got from what she's saying is
the dating pool and niggas my age. It ain't it. I heard.
I ain't even going that far with it.
Go ahead.
the shit she's been around and she's into, men her age ain't into. And when she try to get into it with them, it's no. And that's where that toxic masculinity part comes in, because everybody say, when you're speaking about fluidity and willing to try and allow other shit,
like I just
the
said,
younger niggas is with that today.
Like I just
so
said.
she's like, I like this because I get to do more to
I think
these
that's
niggas.
a crock of shit. That men are not a monolith.
I'm not saying a monolith, but a lot
that's the
of
part
older,
I thought Mel ain't. Men are not a monolith.
They're not.
So don't tell me that there's not a man in your age range.
We playing
that's
percentages.
into some of the things.
We playing percentages. So the nigga she shot at her age range, her percentage at getting off what she might want to get off ain't high.
I'm not mad
But
at
when
that.
you play with the younger ones, I could get it off
I'm not
and
mad
because
at
of who I am.
But it does,
they're gonna let me do what the fuck I want to do.
But it does come off like I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Okay, so hold on one second here. Y'all are on the same wavelength with.
I'm agreeing with
which she might be. She might be an undercover freak. Okay, let's put that to the side. You were gonna say something.
I was gonna say that she brought up the men in my age range are X, which is a huge generalism about men her age.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm her age.
Okay.
She 52, I'm 49 years old.
Yeah.
So you can't judge all men
But you're
that
taken. She does. She's not. She's
please-
not referring to the
Please,
men.
Mel, let me finish
okay,
my
go ahead.
sentence.
Go ahead.
Yo, you can't take all of these men that are in that age range and say that they are all suffering from toxic masculinity. Had a man been on that interview and stated those same exact things about women in his age group, you would have found that offensive. Things and he justify all older women as being X, y'all would say, nah, he just able, he rich, he can control these young bitches because they weak of mind.
See, that's the point I was trying to make. Maybe I articulated myself wrong. What I get from her is this piss in the dating pool of men her age. And to say that, like putting it in reverse, like a man can't say that because there is a Tracy Ellis Ross out there that is single, successful, and in search of something. Why does she think the same can't be said for her? You can meet somebody.
I think. I'm sorry.
So you can throw a rock and hit a podcast of men talking about how used and washed up women over a certain age is. That is a fact.
Don't start talking about these incel.
No, I'm not talking about that. He made a point about if it was in reverse and it was a man saying this sort of thing, in reverse, that we'd be totally offended. Yes, it is offensive, but I can't not hear that because it is so prevalent.
Please address the point.
I'm addressing something that you said. So
I didn't say nothing about no other podcast. I'm talking.
No,
about
you made it seem like it was just like her what she thought is. You made it seem like if a man said what she said is not like the common shit right now. I can't, I'm trying to say how prevalent that idea is.
Has nothing.
Yeah, but the men that hold up, because I like that. The men that say that, like I just called them. There's a community. There's names for them. Incels, red pill. We talking about Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
See, even that highlights the difference.
Okay, so hold on one second here. Now going back to Tracy Ellis Ross, you cannot be in all places at the same time, and as it relates to dating. Okay, so for example, I'm single. Do you know how much advice, unsolicited advice, people give me about dating? A ton. I'm just gonna tell you, a lot. You know what you should do? You know where you should go? You know what I was thinking? No, I don't. I didn't ask, but you're gonna fucking tell me anyways. This is what happens to women frequently, is we get unsolicited advice as to where we're supposed to be. It would literally be a full-time fucking job trying to position ourselves to be available to wherever these men are, because you can't be in all places all at the same time and also fucking run your life, have a career. It gets difficult. It's not as simple as everybody wants to make it seem. Like, she's Tracy Ellis Ross, so she should have pick of the litter. That's not necessarily true.
Need I say more? Need I say more? Do I need to send a copy of this book to them? Should I just go ahead and send a copy to them? Need I say more? Because that's all she did, and that's all I used to do. I recognized it. No explanation, all excuses. I can't be where the good men are because, I'm so busy, my schedule, so I can't be where the... It's amazing how everybody else can find somebody, no matter where they are, no matter where they go, if they want to. But y'all seem to not be able to find nobody. So being famous is more like being in prison because you can't go where you want to go, do what you want to do. You're supposed to be Tracy Ellis Ross. I can go where I want to go, do what I want to do when I want to do it. So y'all can't do that. And you're also trying to tell us in 52 years, you ain't ran across one dude that you feel like he was the one that got away. Boy, I should have kept hold of Kanye. He was the one that got away. Vivica Fox right now, over the last month, she was doing an interview and she was saying, well, I give 50 Cent another chance. I'll be your Huckleberry. 50 cents, come on back. I'd be your Huckleberry. She knew that 50 was the one that got away. Tia Mowry, she sick than a mother. I guess she thought her husband was just gonna be suffering. This man got a new woman, look better than her, and Tyler Perry keeping money in his pocket. And the kids love their daddy. Now Tia gonna be, when she hit 50, she gonna be like Tracy, throwing that coochie away around and mad at herself. Melissa Ford is just another one of them examples of chicks that go home to a cold bed. Shaka Khan. Absolutely correct. I know so many famous dudes that I personally know famous dudes. They used to run through Shaka Khan. They say Shaka was just out there, bad. Bad. But now they want to call the modern day older thought independent. Yeah, Shaka, yeah. I remember I told y'all I was in the feds. I'm sitting up there playing spades. In Chicago, I got 2 El Rukian gang members on both sides. And my spades partner is Jesse Jackson's brother. Look just like Jesse. I swear he looks just like his brother. Just a couple years apart. I'm sitting up there. We just talking crap. We playing spades. Man, all of a sudden, I don't know how Shaka Khan come up. I think a song came on the radio. Man, next thing you know, he started telling me all type of stories how him and Jesse used to run trains on Shaka Khan. I'm like, I am not trying to hear this. I was 23 years old. I am not trying to hear y'all running trains on Shaka Khan, man. Are you gonna put a card down or what? You don't even think about putting Jesse Jackson and Shaka Khan in the same. But think about it. Jesse was the cool civil rights leader. Jesse had the built back in the day. He had the afro with the big, thick mustache. Jesse had the look back in the day. So I could see Jesse running through some chicks. See, Martin was the one that looked like, we shall overcome. But Jesse was looking like this. Jesse was the 70s, the Rainbow Coalition. Jesse wasn't fat and out of shape like Al Sharpton was in the 70s and 80s. Y'all better go back and look at my boy Jesse. Jesse looked like he could play football back in the day. So I can see him running through Shaka Khan like that. Shout out to my man David Dice. Shout out to my man. Once again, guys, we need at least three reviews tonight, guys, for the book. To keep the book going. We hope that you purchase the book, but to keep the book going, as far as being one of the top books, we just need you guys to do a review. Reviews don't cost anything. Just a 2-minute sentence describing why you would recommend this book. Just a 2-minute sentence saying in the review, you just scroll down to the middle of the page, saying why you would recommend this book. Shout out. Let's go back to the video.
Moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm referencing the things that she was saying. When she talks about, she goes on to talk about, the fact that she's child free and never got married and that sort of thing. I think that even just kind of putting herself out there to even have that conversation was just a level, and you guys are gonna fucking
so brave.
I do think that is brave because she leaves herself very open to a lot of criticism and judgment for people to say that was your choice, you made that choice, blah blah blah, when it's just like life just ebbs and flows and takes you in different directions, and your priorities are what they are, like they change vastly. You just can only go with the tools that you have at the moment that you fucking have them.
BS, because a couple months ago she straight up told us she had a man that when she first got into her video vixen industry career, she's in Toronto. I think she was in Toronto. I forgot what part of Canada she was raised in. This dude was on her team 100%. They had been together long before she even thought about getting off into acting and videos. She took the time out, and he was even supportive when she went to California. But once she blew up in the videos, she kicked him to the curb and started smashing and being smashed by every other basketball player, hip hop artist, everybody was running through her. Melissa Ford. She said it. This is not something that somebody's spreading. I'm not spreading rumors on this woman. I don't know her. She said, this wasn't even 2 months ago. She sat down on this podcast and sat down and just told her story. And she said how she just left the dude and was letting everybody and their mama run through her in California when she first became a video vixen. So don't tell us or sell us on you can't direct your life. Life just flows and it just goes. Girls, who do you think you're talking to? That means that we have no free will. That's what she's saying. You just gonna get out of life what life gives you, and you have no free will. You'll never be able to be successful. All you guys with passports, you might as well get rid of them because you have no free will because you'll be too busy to use your passport. You have no free will. That's exactly what she's saying. But she had enough free will to get smashed by all them hip hop artists and basketball players when she first got to being a video vixen. And she had enough free will to leave that dude in Toronto. And then she told the story of years later, she tried to come back to him. And you know what he said? Hell no. He's still bitter and upset with me. Hell no. Come on, man. I wrote 3 books for you. I already wrote 3 books for you. Let's enjoy the 3 we got. Let's enjoy the 3 books we got right now. We just launched these just 2 weeks ago. So let's enjoy the 3 books. And then I'm going to be launching books, like I got plans. This year I want to launch 7 books. This year is going to be 7 books launched for us who are travelers, and books like this to keep us motivated and focused and inspired. She tried to go back to that man years later after she let all these hip hop dudes run through her. And he told her, baby, I got your back. No matter what you do in your career, I got your back. But she did not care. She said, I want to explore new things. And so when she was in California, everybody was running up in Melissa Ford. everybody that got some paper was running through her. But then years later, she wanted to come back to the dude, and she said, my man said, you might as well go on somewhere with that. Shout out to my man, Brooklyn Tales.
To say that is against the power of manifestation, by the way.
Okay, I'm not.
To say that life just comes and goes.
I'm not talking.
That just makes everybody sound like a helpless piece. That just makes. I did, but that just makes everybody sound like a helpless piece of shit.
But not everybody manifests.
Yeah, not everybody.
Not everybody is into manifestation. Not everybody even. Not everybody thinks about it. That's your bag, and you talk about it.
So since you are into manifestation, that means that you don't have a free will. That means that you're a robot. That means that you have no choice in life. That means if you're born poor, you're going to stay poor. If you didn't get the job, you'll never get a job. If I was okay, here we go. Listening to her logic, statistics show 85% of people that have been incarcerated go back to jail and do more prison time. According to her logic, I should still be back in prison, correct? Correct? If 85% recidivism rate, meaning return back to prison, 85% of dudes that go to prison are going back to prison eventually. I should not have had a passport. I shouldn't be married. I should not be on YouTube or any other platforms. I should not have written books. I should not have traveled to all the places I've traveled to. I should have never met you guys. According to what she has to say, life just flows and it just goes, and you just got to go along. You don't have no choice. You're just too busy. Based on her theory, I should be in the feds looking at 2025, 25 more years. The 10 that I did wasn't enough. Let's give him 25 this go round. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. According to her. You see how that works and how dumb that sounds? Let's continue on.
Constantly. But not everybody thinks about manifestation or believes in manifestation.
Do you think that everybody believes in do you think that throughout the course of our lives, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
This is what is this flavor?
Get this.
What's that flavor?
I need some conditioner.
Put that conditioner in your hair right now. Okay. We're gonna put this in my system.
Oh, pattern.
Hold on.
Oh my God. My hair is like having an orgasm right now.
Oh my God.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, cheers.
Black,
I love you.
Black excellence.
Black excellence to us. Yes, bitches.
I cannot drink that whole thing.
Black owned.
Black on? What are you talking about?
Yeah. All we gotta do is support each other.
That's it. That's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
No wonder Tracy Ellis Ross, who is 52 years old, has never been married. No one has noticed that her mother has taken away 3 of her most precious things. At 52, Tracy has no partner or children, and she often feels pain because of this. However, she still doesn't want to be with the wrong person. Her mother, Diana, has been divorced 3 times. She divorced Tracy's father when Tracy was 5 years old. As the eldest daughter, she needed to quickly adapt to the family, which made her precocious. She learned not to rely on others and began to question traditional marriage from a young age. She has had long-term relationships with her boyfriends before, but refused to get married. She believes that love doesn't need to be proved by legal documents, and her parents' divorce has left a shadow on her childhood. She has publicly stated that family is a combination of love and responsibility, rather than just a marriage certificate, but she prefers to date younger men. She thinks that men of her age are affected by toxic masculinity, and she has had enough of that kind of control. Although she continues to date, she has also learned how to live and enjoy life instead of just sitting around waiting.
I would love a relationship that makes my life better than it is. I have no interest in
just being in a relationship to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
I could have a wheel of lovers. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, will you stop going into...
Kevin, I'll be like,
This character-
I take what I like and I leave the rest. I say, thank you and goodbye.
Stop going...
I say, thank you, sir.
You're not at the
You're
jazz
so-
bar.
I am at a jazz bar.
You're at a jazz bar.
Oh, I just spent, I'm like,
no, that's not... No man is there. Stop. That's why you're not
that's
meeting
why,
them.
no.
'Cause you keep going to the jazz
I
bar.
went to the jazz bar and I went, and a man came and I said, who are you? And he said, and I said, I don't know that language.
And that's different. I don't know that we're gonna lose that. I think women, we're used to having a say in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know
well,
whether
that's always been a thing. Modern women think that they have this new thing figured out and that women in the past didn't have a say in their lives, and it's just not true.
Did not your grandmama have a say in the household? Was it not often said that Big Mama was the glue that kept the family together? And when Big Mama died, everybody kind of dispersed a little bit. So my grandmama in the 50s, 60s, 40s, great grandma, they ain't had nothing. They just sat back with their mouth shut and they would just Aunt Jemima, huh? Aprons and all that. I ain't never seen my grandmama with an apron on. I think I see my dad's grandmama with one, but I don't see. What's my point? They try to make it seem like women back in the 40s, back in the 70s, 80s, they didn't even have careers. You let these women tell it that black women have only started working in the last 15 years. I'm serious. You let these women tell it, they will let you think and have you brothers convinced that black women have just started working in the last 15, 20 years. Black women ain't never had no job prior to that, according to these ladies. No degrees, no education, no opportunities. Man, you wonder why I got a passport and got the heck up out of there? Man, y'all can have that, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Because these women are going to get tired and they're going to start, once they get tired of being lonely, that's when this boy toy movement start. In other words, that's when they start trying to use you, brothers. They don't want to be with y'all. They just want to use y'all. Use you for money. Use you for, like in Tracy's case, she don't need your money, but she does need your companionship. Use you for sex, so they'll use you for sex, which you'll enjoy. But even you'll get tired of just being used by females, whether it be for your money, whether it be for your companionship, whether it be for your sex. These women never want to say, listen, when are some of these ladies going to be honest and say, I am rich and I am lonely as can be? When are the Tia Mari's going to say, I effed up. I thought I wanted something else in these streets. I effed up, y'all. My bad. I know I ain't gonna get my husband back, but to let you young girls know, don't do what I did, because I effed up. Women don't talk like that. Women are so prideful that taking accountability is not what they're gonna be doing. They will not tell you, Tracy Ellis Ross will not tell you, this was not my plan when I was young. My plan was not to become famous and not have a husband to enjoy this with and not have no kids to enjoy this with and just be the rich auntie. I think she got like one son. That's it. Well, she might not even have any son. No, you know what? She doesn't have a son. She has a brother, a younger brother. They never want to tell the truth. They will die with that lie. They will die with that lie. At least that's what I love about being a man. At least an older dude gonna tell you, hey, young buck, listen, I was in the feds for 10 years. You don't want to do that. Hey, young buck, hey, I got 3 women, 3 baby mamas. You don't want to do that. Hey, young buck, I used to smoke that too. You may not want to do that. Hey, young buck, I used to, spaz out on my boss too. You may not want to do that. See, men ain't got no problem with admitting we weren't always perfect. We got faults. We've got some great things we did. We got some bad things that we did. And we ain't got no problem telling it. What y'all thought I was gonna come on YouTube and not tell y'all I was in the feds for 10 years? Did y'all really think I was gonna let y'all just be able to sneak up on me one day? I heard Dre was in the feds. After being on YouTube for 10 years, then all of a sudden y'all gonna be like, yeah, man, he a liar, man. He ain't telling nobody he was in the feds for 10 years. I came out the gate telling y'all, it wasn't even 4 months later, hey, bruh, I was in the feds and I still got a passport and I still got a new life and I still got a wife and I still got these opportunities and I still got doors that are opening up for me, even though I did 10 years in the Fed. If you ain't even do 10 years in the Feds, why are you letting me get ahead of the race? You can do this too. That's why I tell my story, because I want every one of us brothers to know, whether you did something wrong or whether you did something right, we all gonna progress together. But I ain't gonna pretend to be like some of these pastors that try to pretend like they ain't never done nothing wrong. That's how women do. Women won't take accountability. And Tracy Ellis Ross and Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray and all those chicks are gonna go down to the grave. It will never tell anybody, girl, I effed up. I effed up. Shout out to you gentlemen coming in from Theo's class. Shout out to you guys being here. Appreciate you gentlemen being here. Let's go back to the video. We got 72 people in the building.
If you pick up any history book ever, you'll find women who decided to not have kids, and that was just their prerogative. That was their choice. Now, people would tell them that having a family is important, and that was the common consensus in that time. But if they didn't want to have children, they could just opt out of having children. This whole idea that's been promoted by feminism that women were just tied up in chains and forced to have children is not true. Oftentimes, women prioritize the family because they seen the family as more important than just being a lifeless labor unit at Amazon. But that was their prerogative. They believed in family. Now modern women have been convinced, number one, by capitalists, because the feminist movement, if you actually look into it, wasn't just women with picket signs protesting. It was $1 billion propaganda that was pushed by big major corporations in order to take women out of the family and push them into the workforce. And
what did I say about the United States? Did I not say that the United States is where everything has to do with making money? Everything is done in the United States to make money. You cannot name one thing that is not set up in the United States to make somebody billions. Nothing. There is nothing. There is literally nothing in the United States that is set up that somebody ain't making money off of it. You single, somebody's making money off you being single. Your girl single, somebody's making money off your girl being single. Oh, y'all married? Somebody's making money off y'all being married. Oh, y'all got kids outside of wedlock? Somebody's making money on that child support. Oh, y'all got a divorce. Somebody's making money, whether it be the attorneys, whether it be the judges, whether it be the courts. Somebody gonna make money off of that. What do they always tell women with the latest purse? Oh, that was last year's purse. So now women buy more purses, because society always tells them whatever a woman's got, that ain't good enough. Your eyelashes aren't good enough. Your hair is not good enough. Your makeup's not good enough. Your body is not good enough, because people make money off of it. When I went to prison, they made money off of me. The prison industrial complex made money off of me because according to the 13th, 14th Amendment, I was technically a slave. So since America got 2.5 million people incarcerated, that's 2.5 million slaves. They made money off of us. There is not one area, public schools, private schools, colleges, colleges making their money off of what? The sport. They just start, think about it. Colleges have just started giving money to these young kids in sports. How many years we've been watching the Rose Bowl and these kids been smashing up their bodies for free? How many years have we been watching these kids with track and field, and the most they can hope is the Olympics? How many years have been watching these young white girls, tall white girls, jumping up and down that volleyball court, smashing up their body? And the most they can hope for is a scholarship. They have just recently started giving these kids money. Prior to that, anything that had to do with major universities, it was about the money. It ain't had nothing to do with let's educate people. No, let's entertain people under the auspices of college sports. Everything is for sale in the United States. From coochie to Gucci. Everything is for sale. It's a corporation, and I'm not mad at it. Remember what I said the other day? When I became more at peace and not more confrontational with the United States, when I began to accept the fact that the United States is a corporation, I said, let me make money on this corporation. I stopped looking like the United States like my country, 'tis of these. You must forget that one. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet. No. Hell no. Them days been gone. It's all about the money. That's the United States. You can't name one thing that goes on in the United States that somebody ain't making money off of it. Nothing. You unhappy? There's some therapists over there. Go ahead, pay them. You too happy? Here's some pills. Go and take these. These will calm you down. You too happy. You got ADHD. Here, take these pills. Come on now. For real. That's the book, From Coochie to Gucci. Shout out to you guys.
Work. The capitalists wanted to take women out of the family for three major reasons. It was to double the workforce, to stagnate wages, because if you have more people looking for the jobs, the wages, they don't have to pay as much. And three, to grow GDP. And this is coming from a person that loves capitalism. I think that every system is flawed, but I think capitalism is one of the best ones that we found today. And I like capitalism, but one of my criticisms of capitalism is pushing women into the workforce, and women ate it up and became the good capitalists that they should be. Feminism is just capitalism with man-hating. Feminists have been taught that they're going to destroy the patriarchy by jumping into the workforce and adding to said patriarchy. In an attempt to destroy the patriarchy, they're really just destroying themselves, and the only people who are benefiting from this current system are the corporations, and it makes sense because that's how it was supposed to go in the first place. Women have always had a choice throughout history. It's just that modern women have chosen capitalism over family.
The whole movement is about sort of reharnessing us.
You see how Michelle talking about the movement?
Whether is it really about,
and can that really work?
Reproductive rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that fathers are modernized, right? I mean, mostly they are, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because you love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, and they want.
Don't forget what she just said. The average man, if you love your daughter. So if you don't want her to be excellent like the rest of us are excellent. Because the rest of us are excellent when it comes to education and careers. The rest of us are excellent when it comes to spending money. The rest of us are excellent when it comes to going from relationship to relationship. The rest of us are excellent when it comes to being baby mamas. But if you don't let your daughter be those things, you don't love your girl. They never talk about how excellent they are as wives. They never talk about how excellent they are as encouragers and helpmeets. They never talk about how excellent they are when it comes to relationships. You notice that everything centers around something that had to do with what makes a man excellent. I'm going to say this again. When you hear women using that term excellence, do realize they base their excellent off of what made you excellent for years. You have been excellent in hunting. You have been excellent in business, investments, building. You have been excellent. So they think that if they can mimic or imitate your version of excellence, They no longer have to live their version of excellence, what made women excellent throughout human history. To where if it wasn't for women, certain things wouldn't have taken place if it wasn't for women. That wasn't excellent to them. What you do, being a queen, wasn't excellent. They want to be king. Now that's excellent. And then here's the other part of their definition of excellence. It's subjective and selective. It's subjective and selective. Notice their version of excellence always comes with an air conditioner. I said it. Michelle and all them, where's Michelle sitting? In the air-conditioned studio. Where do most of our women work in? Where your woman work in? Most of the women work in where? Air-conditioned doctor's offices, air-conditioned corporations, air-conditioned sales, air-conditioned. If it ain't got an air condition, most women ain't going nowhere. They want the air condition. They don't want to be out here on these telephone lines with us. They don't want to be out here with us building houses with our hands. A few, but not enough. They don't want to be out there building NASCARs. Heck no. If it ain't got an air conditioner, they don't want. Women have the right to be able to go to any career they want. They still don't go into STEM. And they still don't go into non-air conditioned opportunities. I'm going to say that again. You notice women can go into any career they want to in the world. In the world. No country is holding women back except for maybe a few. And they still, in masses, don't do science. Still, in masses, don't do technology. They don't do engineering. They don't do mathematics. They aren't out there in the oil rigs. They aren't out there getting shot up in the military in masses. They aren't on those naval ships in masses. There's a few sprinkled here, sprinkled there in every endeavor. But if it don't come with an air condition, what you go to school for? Psychology. Air-conditioned job. What you go to school for? Massage therapy. Air-conditioned job. What you go to school for? Nursing. Air-conditioned job. What do you go to school for? I'm a doctor. Air-conditioned job. What you go to school for? I am a school principal. Air-conditioned job. I'm a teacher. I make $200,000 a year as a professor in an air-conditioned job. If it ain't air-conditioned, women ain't going out there. Y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? Women ain't leaving them air-conditioned jobs. So when they talk about excellence, they are excellent as long as it got an air conditioner. As long as it got an air. Think I'm lying? Go ahead, look at the top 10, top 20 careers of women over the last 20 years. Every single one of them, except a couple of them, got air conditioners. Oh, here we go. Even pay for play. Does not pay for play take place normally in an air-conditioned unit in the United States? Ain't no chick out there doing pay for play under no fan. This ain't Colombia. They need air conditioning if she gonna give you a head. I don't care if she giving you head in the car. You better turn that air conditioner on. Shout out to Oakland. Right, Chewbacca does more STEM than they do. Good point. Shout out to Chewie. Let's continue on. Listen to Michelle talk crazy.
Them to have opportunity and freedom. I mean, when you think about who
opportunity, freedom under an air condition. They don't even do door-to-door sales. Most of the guys that I was working with door-to-door sales, kid you not. Let me go back. When I was doing door-to-door sales, most individuals, because I was working for True Green Kimlaw on the lawn service. So I was the guy that was out there selling you the lawn service, where I was making good money too. We had very few women that was actually a part of our sales team because it was outdoors. You know, the hot days in Florida, you're out there working with people in their lawns. Women ain't trying to be out there working in no dang lawns in that heat, telling people how they can improve on their lawns. Some of you guys sometimes guys will be out there selling roofing services. Women ain't gonna be out there selling no roofing services. Women gonna be medical sales. Good money in medical sales. I'm not denying that part, but it is air conditioned. So even women in their sales, normally they're doing air conditioned sales. I'm not hating on the money being made. Get your paper, ladies. But all this talk about I'm independent, I can do what I want to do. You are not independent. You are dependent on the air conditioner. As long as there's an air conditioner involved, you will take the job. Take them damn air conditioners away and see how women act. You got a few women that work in warehouses, but that's not the norm. You got a few women that work in the auto industry. That's not the norm. The norm for most women is not the plant that you work in, and you got a bunch of females that work there with you too. The norm in the United States and in most countries is a job with an air conditioner included. I'll do online work with the air conditioner. I'll work from home. It's got an air conditioner. Some of y'all reflecting back right now as I'm speaking like, dang, he is right. They do get air conditioner jobs. If it ain't air conditioned, man, please. They ain't taking no job talking about they independent. Get the heck out of here, Michelle. You talking crazy.
You don't want your daughter marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything.
But this is silly, but I do agree with her that modern fathers are weak and they don't teach their daughters to be wives, and that's a big issue in modern times. I have a buddy of mine. He owns his own company, and he's owned his own company. I'm 29 now, so he's about 28, and he's owned his own company since he was 25. He was dating a woman that lived with him. And he was taking care of all of the bills and everything that she needed. But sometimes she would cook for herself and not cook for him. No, I don't think y'all understand. Let me say that again. This woman had a father who was in her life actively, and he had met her father before, and they were in good terms, and the father liked him too. But this woman would cook food in his house that he's paying for, also paying for the dates and paying to take care of anything that she needed. She would cook food in his house and not cook him anything. Do you understand how insane that is? And
that is. Shout out to my man Kings of Dreams, Crimson Dre. Shout out to you, brother. That's the norm in the United States, gentlemen. I don't know why he want to act like it's surprising. That's the norm in the United States. I said that's the norm. Don't act, come on, Americans. Don't act like America changed since I left. Since I left, y'all women didn't start all of a sudden cooking. A few of y'all got a woman cook for y'all. Most of us ain't had no woman cook for us. And we dang sure ain't had no woman make a plate for us. Or bring us some juice or a cup of coffee. Heck no, man. Some of y'all were just like me. Ain't nobody bring you a plate of nothing until you got to Colombia. Until you got to Brazil. And then you got the lames in the States who will say, well, man, you should be able to control your woman. I shouldn't have to control you. I'm going to say that again. If I got to force you and control you and manipulate you to bring me a glass of water, why am I here when I could just take a passport and go to another country where I ain't got to do no manipulation, I ain't got to do no conniving, I ain't got to do no conning, I ain't got to throw no money in the air to make it seem like I'm going to go ahead and buy you this Birkin bag, girl. Go ahead and make me a meal. I ain't got to do none of that. I ain't gotta always have a chick in my face talk about Nick. I'm in the bind, Nick. I'm in the bind, Nick, like Jada Pickett, and set it off. Nick, I could use it. I need the money, Nick. I'm in the bind. I cook for you, Nick. I'm in the bind, Nick. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody on Cash App. We got 82 people in the building. Shout out to you guys for supporting the channel.
Instead of her father stepping in and saying, this is a problem, you need to be reciprocating some value to this guy if you actually like this guy or he's going to leave you, the dad never said anything about it. So I do agree that in modern times, dads are raising their daughters up to be these same independent women, but these women are not going to get married. And then guys act surprised when their daughters are going out into the dating market and dudes are just sleeping with them and they're not committing to them. It's because you probably raised your daughter not to have any long-term characteristics to be a wife. And that's a big issue in modern times. People don't want to admit that, but yeah, there are a lot of dads that are foregoing teaching their daughters to be good wives. And I don't know why you wouldn't teach your son how to not treat a woman. You teach your son how to treat a woman, so why not teach your daughter how to treat a man? And I think that that's just lacking in modern society, and a lot of women are getting slept with and then getting put in the friend zone or the fuck zone where they're never going to get out of that because they don't have any characteristics for a long-term relationship. I think that's a big issue.
And
who believes that her body is his choice.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I don't think a lot of leaders are thinking about that. You know?
Well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context.
Mm-hmm.
And then the funny part also, none of this is in the Quran. None of this is in the Jewish Torah. None of this is in the Bible. These same women that want to talk about they Christians and they spiritual and all that, the same ones that will sit up there knowing that their behavior is not in the Torah, their behavior is not in the Quran, and their behavior is not in the Bible. None of this is biblical. None of this is in the Torah. None of this is in the Quran. None of this behavior. So just in case you guys are wondering if this is what God wants, you can't find a scripture that condones what many of these women are doing, being old thoughts. If the Bible doesn't want women to be young thoughts, if the Quran doesn't want a woman to be a young thought, if the Torah doesn't want women to be young thoughts, what verse in the Bible, says that a woman can be an old thought? What verse in the Torah says that a woman can be an old thought? What part of the Quran says, because you did not be a young thought, you can be an old thought? Where in the Quran does it say be an old thought? That's why when I be sitting back, y'all, all these women be talking about they Christians and women thou art loose and all this mess that they try to sit back. I'm like, your girlfriends lied to you. These modern day pastors lied to you. Remember what I said? Everything is about making money. These modern day pastors realize we can't make the money off the men because we can't lie to men. Who can we lie to? Now, I'm not saying all pastors, because there's some really good pastors out there and some great imams and some great priests out there and out there, right? But when it comes to the church, it's too much money made to lie by lying to women. It is just too much money. It's too much money. Bishop Jakes made all his money off of lying to women. All his money off of lying to women. Did not have to tell the women any truth. Any truth. Half of what that man was saying and half of what Derrick Jackson and all these other people are saying, they are becoming multi-millionaires. Multi-millionaires. As long as they continue to perpetuate lies to women, because women won't do the research, women won't do the homework, they will say amen to anything. They will amen anything, in church or out of church, as long as it makes them feel good. And I'm not coming at you ladies, but what I'm saying is it is a business, ladies. Everything that makes you feel fuzzy and good about yourself and feel independent and all that, that's cool. But do realize on the back end, there's probably a man somewhere making money. Let's put it like that. As long as Tracy Ellis Ross keeps talking the way she's talking, I bet you on the back end, if you trace the money, there are men making billions off of women that act like Tracy Ellis Ross, that behave like the Tracy Ellis Rosses. Yeah, they won't be Proverbs 30, 31. Nope. They'll be Proverbs 30. Well, actually, Proverbs 31, verses 1 through 9. Actually, 10. Where the queen was warning her son about what type of women don't be around. Most women are Proverbs 31 women, but they are verse 1 through 10. When the queen was like, don't get one like this, don't do that, telling her young son that was a king, listen, women gonna come. Don't let them get you caught up. Everybody talking about I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Oh, yes, you are. Verse 1 through 10.
That if it's an area that you don't have to think into,
right?
But I think there is, it is a genuine, regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons. I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men, and a lot of it is because.
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a.
See what I'm saying? Let's snap on that, folks. Barack, you got some answering to do, bruh. Michelle's gonna do what Michelle's gonna do. I can't stop her from being a modern woman. She wanted to put her hair like that. I was totally against it. The International Quiet Storm, he said Derrick Jackson is still doing content. Yes, he is. To this day, and making money to this day. He said women are still out there supporting him. Yes, they are. He still has millions of followers on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. Yes, he does. Because all he had to do was say, I'm sorry. See, girls, don't date a man like me. That just gave him more content. See, girls, here's what I'm going to tell you. Because you know I messed up. I'm going to show you what a man is supposed to do. I messed up, girl. I messed up our love. Derrick Jackson is playing like a man. That man, if he did anything, especially the wife didn't help. The wife was telling the story of how when they was in, well, Derrick has always been like this. When I was in college, girls would be coming up and down the stairs and I'd be one of them. And believe you me, all Derrick Jackson followers was like, I wish I was one of them girls going up and down the stairs. That's all that happened. Them girls wasn't feeling sorry for Derrick Jackson's wife. I wish I was one of them girls going up and down his stairs. Yep, that's what Barack is doing. He ain't even tripping.
A great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes.
What do they say when you date younger women, guys? You're a predator. You're a manipulator. You're a con man. You're a dirty man. You're insecure. You're weak. You know why I married Andrea? Tracy told you. You know why some of you guys get your passport and you deal with women in other countries? Tracy just told them. Shout out to my man T-Mac. Sound like a gremlin laughing. Why do men date younger women? Tracy just told you. Because we can. That's going to be my argument. Shout out to Law Dog. That's going to be my argument from now on. Soon as a female asks me, why you with her? Because I can. Tracy Ellis Ross says she with a young dudes because she can, and Andre Spence with a young woman because he can. And all the rest of you guys that enjoy mature, not silly little girls, but mature younger women, like Kevin Samuels used to, because we can. I ain't gonna even shout Tracy down. From now on, that's gonna be my argument. My man Black Nubian said I understand why Barack was walking by himself and looking lost. For real. Law Dog says, shout out to Law Dog once again. He says, so true about the double standards with women and the age gap relationships. Look at Madonna. Madonna been acting a fool with young dudes for years. Men ain't care. Men ain't never criticized Madonna. Do what you gonna do, Madonna. You want Dennis Rodman? Go ahead, get you a young. Go get Dennis Rodman. Nobody was tripping on Madonna. But as soon as any of you brothers got y'all a young white girl, shh. So it's okay for the white girl to get a young brother, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But let a brother get a young white girl, everybody got something to say. Here. Let's go back to that stupid laugh. Because I can.
Great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. Marie. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
Yeah.
It's fun.
She's 52 years old and she's bragging about getting smashed and passed by 22-year-old men.
Right.
Think about the level of immaturity. 52 years old, and you're not organizing family events. You're not putting together recipes for your granddaughters to learn so that when they get a husband, they know how to maintain that man and feed their family in a healthy way that's going to give them longevity. You're not doing no family reunions. You out here getting recorded by some 22-year-old on a cell phone saying, like, look, this is the girl from Girlfriends, Tracy Ellis Ross, in my phone, and I get to call her anytime and get the cheeks. This is what you're bragging about. This is embarrassing. 52 years old. This is insane. And by the way, if a guy had this mentality about this situation, he would be told that they would be chanting for him to be locked up.
Yep.
If a 52-year-old man came out and said, I only date younger women, blah, 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 people would have an issue with that. But because it's her, it's no issue. And the reason why basically she's saying she's willing to date young men is because men have become, young men especially, have become so feminized that they don't have any expectations in their relationship. But it's okay, because that same feminization leads to them never committing. This is why you see marriage on the decline. So these guys, yeah, maybe they smashing Tracy Ellis Ross because she got the yams. But ain't none of these 22-year-olds looking to commit to you, and you think that it's a flex as a 52-year-old woman to be bragging about you have the attention of 22-year-olds? They'll sleep with anything as long as they can get their thing wet. That's what it's all about when you're a 22-year-old man. And with that being said, that's exactly what it is. You think that they're open and they care because they're sitting and listening, but all they doing is nodding until they get them cheeks, man. At that age, you're just doing and saying whatever it takes to sleep with women. As you get older, you start to have a little bit more standards. You start to not to be willing to lie because you value your peace more than you value coochie now. But at 22, them little boys just nodding and waving and saying whatever they need to say and listening to your sob story until they get the cheeks, and then you're never going to see them again. And even if she's talking about men in their 30s, it's the same thing. If men want to smash you, they'll sit there and nod and agree and say that they're open and they don't judge and believe in whatever you believe. But then ultimately, you're just going to end up in a zone where they just sleep with you because they realize that you have no characteristics for a long-term relationship. And this woman is 52 years old. Ain't no younger man who has a vision of starting a family going to commit to a 52-year-old woman
good point,
who's
Bobby.
not capable of having kids anymore. It's not about the man that you can attract. It's about the man you can keep as a woman. And at 52 years old, you would think that she would have some understanding of that by now. It's crazy.
Okay,
But Tracy Tale.
But
you date a younger
I'm sorry.
woman.
But one of the
Younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks.
Yeah.
And anything that
Oftentimes
starts...
when they're talking about a particular way a relationship looks, they're looking at the feminine role. Every time and every woman you talk to, they're going to have an opinion of what the man should do. I guarantee you in her ideal man, she still wants him to protect. She still wants him to provide. She still wants him to make a decent amount of money to contribute to her lifestyle. But when they say that they have an issue with how the men look at relationships, usually they have an issue just with what the men expect in terms of reciprocation. If you're a man and you're paying all the bills in your house, in modern terms, you shouldn't expect for your woman to also do majority of the domestic labor, or you're a bad man. So usually when they're talking about gender roles that they don't want to follow or not having to follow gender roles, they're never talking about the male role. They still want you to protect and provide just like we always have traditionally. Oftentimes they're just talking about women not having to do anything to reciprocate via the female role. And that's what she's talking about here. She's talking about men of the past used to have expectations for their women. Now men don't have expectations for what a woman should contribute to a relationship.
Starts to smell of that for me. I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're less of a possession. You're a possession in marriage, but you're less of a possession when a 22-year-old just shoots up the club because you're 52 and you can't have children anymore. You're less of a possession in that scenario, of course.
I was going to say
this is modern empowerment.
It's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even
She's
having.
Basically saying she values young men for being more like women. And this is what they want from you, young men. This is why all of the programming tells you to be pretty much gay. They want you to behave like a woman or you're not a man. That's what they'll tell you, at least. They want young men to become women. And you have to be careful of this, even if you have a young boy in the school system, because if your young boy in the school system does not behave like a woman or a girl, meaning he's 7 years old and he can't sit still for 8 hours, they want to try to get him on drugs or try to act like he has behavioral issues, when really he's just a young boy, and they don't understand the difference. So she's basically saying she values younger men for being more feminine, essentially.
Issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up. Yeah. That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating, and I have come up with mine. I
don't want to teach somebody or grow them up when you're dating 23-year-old men.
Thank you.
You genuinely cannot make this stuff up. But Kevin Samuels had an opinion on women like Tracy Ellis Ross, and I think you guys should take a look at it because it's very interesting how he predicted these things even just years ago, man. And RIP to the GOAT. Before I play the clip, RIP to the GOAT. I wish the brother was still around so he can give his take on certain situations. But yeah, man, let me roll the clip.
Men are not selecting Tracy Ellis Rosses. Not for marriage. She can still get it. There are a lot of guys who would slay that easy. Would have no problem even being seen with her in public. But would a man that she wants do it? Let's say, imagine the man that Tracy Ellis Ross would get. Chances are he would be younger, maybe some up and coming young actor. Can you imagine a woman like Tracy Ellis Ross with a 58-year-old CEO of a Fortune 50 company, an accomplishment? No, they needed a completely different woman.
Yep.
And that's the ultimate point. The longer you're by yourself, the less likely you are a good fit for anybody else. Tonight we were going to talk about high value versus finesse, but this is important. Here's some things, ladies. I'm going to ask you, ladies, especially you women over 35, what are you going to be willing to give up?
Let's give this dirty hairstyle. I heard you. Ouch. I just want you to know I just bent my knee. Just bent it. And it hurt. It was like, ouch. Which is exactly what happens when I wake up in the morning now. I wake up at 50, hot as ever. And it's as if someone beat me up while I was sleeping. I'm like, oh. That's how I wake up. Ouch. Oh, and then I have to stretch. Who knew that was actually going to be real? It's real, guys. Sunblock in the eyes. Water in the ear. I have dipped. Goodbye. Okay, so I just did a YouTube video about this interview with Tracy Ellis Ross and Michelle Obama. And in that video interview, she's just basically saying that she's no longer dating men her age because they are prone to toxic masculinity. And she's dating younger men now and they're more open. So then I saw this message and it says that Tracy Ellis Ross, she likes younger men to avoid toxic masculinity. But if men say that about older women, the problem, y'all are hypocrites. Now I'm thinking, are we really being hypocrites? So I just made a whole YouTube video about this, just agreeing with her. Because if y'all saying that women have less options and we choose poorly, if a woman wants to change her perspective and open her net to new options, she should be able to date younger. But I also thought about it like this. If a man came on the internet saying, I don't date women my age because they aren't open, we're going to look at them as they're being manipulative. And then I also thought about it like this. If a black man dates a white woman and then he says all these bad things about black women on why he is dating white women, we would say, hey, like, you could date white women, I don't care. But why do you have to say this and that about black women?
True.
I think that's the way that
that's the same thing they do to us when it comes to guys that travel and date women in other countries. They will tell us, go and get your passport. Go get women in other countries. But why you got to talk about us back in the States? Why are we always in your mouth? But when women do it, like Tracy, yeah, I like young dudes because the men in the States, them dudes, toxic masculinity, them older dudes. And if we say something about it, oh man, you're sassy. You're being a little sassy. So we danged if we do, danged if we don't.
Think about this. If it's okay if she dates younger men, but if that's the case, why do you have to talk about older men like that? And then, like, you guys can let me know in the comments, has that crossed your mind or am I like crazy? But then I saw this comment and I completely disagree. Like, you might have had me up here, but you really got me messed up right here. Because to sit there and say that she doesn't deserve this person because she's 40, what does that really mean? Like, she's not supposed to stop striving for happiness just because she's 40. Please. But one of the most important things that I took from this video was really about not surrounding your life around a man and being able to nurture the other relationships in your life and creating a life that you love regardless of whether a man is in it or not. And I think that's the true message that she was trying to send in this video. I think that we
no, that's not it, La Mama. Now everything little mama was saying, women should be independent and they should have the right to be in a relationship or not. Men do not care. We're almost done, guys. Men don't care. If y'all want to say y'all independent, as long as we get in the coochie, you independent. You want to say you feminist, as long as you giving me head, you can be a feminist. Men don't care. We are not tripping on that. If you are a 100% thought and you want to title that name, no matter what you want to call it. If I'm thoughting you, Tracy, if I'm running up in you, my boy down the street ran up in you a couple months ago. My other partner ran through you a year ago. Tracy, you could call whatever title, ladies, modern ladies, come on back in. You could call it whatever you want. You still a thought. Just because you change the title to it doesn't make you any less than a whore, the neighborhood whore, whether you do it in the neighborhood with a mansion, Miss Ross, or whether you do it in a regular neighborhood with Aisha and Keisha and them. It doesn't matter to men. I don't know why y'all trying to explain this to men, because men don't care. We looking at the young dudes, Tracy. Every young dude that run up in you, we happy for him. Because we remember when we was running up in the Tracy Ellis Rosses when we were young. Ain't nobody tripping. All the young dudes sitting up there laughing at you right now, Tracy. They laughing. All the young dudes that's running up at you and running up at women like you, they laughing like, this chick, did this woman just say I'm fluid? The only fluid I'm gonna give her is that fluid on her face. Dudes don't be caring. They do not care. Let's continue on and finish off this last part of this video.
Just got all lost in all the other language and everything that she was saying.
Hey, ladies, if you want to get married, have a husband with kids and all that, a beautiful family, don't listen to anything that Tracy Ellis Ross says, bro. Don't listen to nothing. And this is what we be talking about in the black community, how the older women don't give the correct game to the younger women, bro. It's like they leading them astray. Older men have no problem giving game to young fellas, bro. And we take that advice. The older women is like, they want you to be like them. And hey, I know life be happening, but let's not make being an older 50-year-old man or woman, not married, no kids, normal. Let's not make that normal. That's not normal. We got to break that cycle. Usually women who say they don't like dating older men is because they don't like, they lack structure. They lack direction. They don't want to be told what to do, bro. At that age, it's far gone. Just like Kevin Samuels said, like, older woman, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's crazy. That's my unpopular opinion.
Here's this clip of Tracy Ellis Ross talking about why she likes to date younger men instead of older men on a podcast with Michelle Obama, which is random as shit to me. Like, what's the former first lady doing on a podcast, right? But whatever. But in the clip, she's talking about how she likes to date younger men instead of older men because of toxic masculinity or whatever, right? And I'm here to tell you that's complete bullshit, right? There's only one reason older people date younger people outside of a genuine love or compatibility, right? That's because of the big difference in power dynamic, right? Everyone likes to be in charge. Everyone likes to have the upper hand, men or women. I know you guys like to think this is an exclusive thing to men, but women like to be in charge just as much as men, and they like to run things how they want to when they're in charge, right? That's just nature, right? So when you date someone younger than you, right, you are typically ahead of them in life, right? You're more financially stable. You have a lot more life experience. So they're going to take a lot of the shit that you say at face value with a lot less resistance, right? Compared to someone that's on your level, they're not going to just accept things as you say them. If someone on your level, notices that you're just full of shit, they're going to call you out on it, right? Where someone that's much younger than you might just accept it because they don't want to rock the boat. They might think they're being immature. So that's why she likes to date younger men. Not because of all that other nonsense, right? I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio has been doing this shit for years, right? That's just how it works. Everyone likes to be in charge. Everyone likes to have power. That's it. It's not that deep.
All right, and we are done with that video series for tonight. But like I said, tonight's topic was really about these women will get tired. They will get tired of being ran through. They will never admit. They'll take it to the grave and never say, I was wrong. Tracy Ellis Ross will never admit that how many men ran up in her, ain't none of them stuck around. All these dudes that ran up, I've been engaged before, Tracy. Engagements don't count on this channel. I know fat, ugly chicks that get engaged, Tracy. This is going to be Tracy, Tia Mari, Maya, Vivica Fox. We're talking about a bunch of women that we grew up seeing, guys, that we will never see them with a family unit. You know how you have somebody that, you know how when you sit back and you see photos of your grandmama, and you be like, oh man, grandma used to be fine back in the day. I see why granddaddy got with you. And grandma and granddad do a family photo, and it might be their two sons, but their two sons got kids. I mean, their two sons are married, and now they got grandkids. And then you see some with, you know, they had maybe 6 sons and daughters, and now they got like 14 grandkids. These women will never experience what it's like to know that generations came from their womb. Never. 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 Simply because they were too ornery to admit they were once an old thought, and now they're new thoughts. I mean, they were new thoughts, but now they're old thoughts. Law Dog said, damn, Maya is the same. Yep. She was hot back in the day. What a waste. I mean, she's still very attractive, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. That loneliness for women, man, it's on a whole nother level. When men get lonely, we lonely. But when women get lonely, it's, oh man, it's crazy because they are community-based, community mindset creatures. You know, it's all about building a community for them. And if you listen to most of these women that deal with younger dudes or living this single life or blah, 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 they always, if you really want to sit back and listen to what Tracy Ellis Ross was saying, it was just a bunch of excuses. That's all it was. She sat back in front of Michelle Obama. Michelle, do not wear your hair like that again. What are you doing, girl? What are you, 12? What are you, 12 years old? Who? You know what I'm starting to learn as I get older? Tell me the truth. Rich people ain't got no friends. Rich people ain't got no friends. Because rich people always wear or do something stupid that the average person will say, dog, what are you doing, man? Man, if you don't take that dress off, you look like an idiot, man. Take that dress off, dog. Your regular dogs will put you in check. Man, where you going with that hat on? Oh, hell no. What you think, you T-Pain? Man, take that top hat off, man, looking like Mr. Peanut. Your friends, your real... You ever notice rich, like Kanye ain't got no real friends. You and your woman walk around the streets like white people in the 70s with no shoes on. Some of you people don't remember that. Remember white people used to just walk down the street with no shoes on in the 70s? You be like, so y'all just gonna walk through the whole neighborhood of Detroit with no shoes on. So you walking on concrete with no shoes on. People been spitting on that concrete, and so you just no shoes, white people, huh? I remember that when I was a kid. At the end of the day, man, these women are going to regret, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it sounds all good right now. But if you open up your Bible to Isaiah chapter 4, verse 4, and it states that in the last days, let me go to Isaiah chapter 4, verse 4 right now. It states that in the last days, that women will go to men and they gonna say, listen, eight women, I believe. It said 8. We're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. In that day, so few men will be left. So few men will be left. Very few men will be left. And this is a prophecy of the last days. That 7 women will fight each other for one man. And they're going to say to that man, let us all marry you. All this independent, I don't need no man. Sounds good. Cool. But according to my Bible, eventually, when y'all get tired, 7 of y'all gonna go to one man and say, can we all get married? We will provide our own food and our own clothes. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Sounds good right now, ladies. But according to what God is saying, y'all gonna be running to these men. And y'all won't even argue about it. Because y'all will be so ready to not be old maids. Yep. La-da-dee, la-dee-da, la-da-dee, la. Just like that song. That song is about a woman that was homeless. Nowhere to go. Yep. She had mental issues. Walking down the street singing la-da-dee, la-da-da. He said, all I have my ex-girlfriend, and she lives in Hawaii. Shout out to Kenny. And she's a command sergeant major. She listens to Derrick Jackson from time to time. Let her have fun with that. For real, the anti-Barack is being a white woman. For real. Shoot. Maya married herself. How come it's always women marry themselves, but us men, we ain't never married ourselves? You ain't seen no men out there trying to marry ourselves. Women want married so bad, they were willing to marry themselves. Well, let me let you guys go. I know there's 80 of us in here. Shout out to all you guys. Dennis Rodman did. That is a rarity. But Dennis did everything, man. Shoot. After that white woman left, after Dennis' baby mama left him in Detroit, all of us, if you're from Detroit, you remember this. Remember Dennis was at the palace with a shotgun to his head? In the parking lot of the palace. See, a lot of you guys don't know why Dennis Rodman is crazy like he is. See, a lot of y'all see, there was a pre-deletion, self-deletion attempt and post-self-deletion attempt. Dennis was regular, high-top fade, Dennis Rodman, defensive player, Detroit Pistons, right? But then, remember that day when Dennis was it's at night. Ain't nobody even in the parking lot in the palace. Dennis Rodman got a shotgun. He ready to blow his skull off. I forget how it all kind of like unfolded to where the police was able to, save his life and get him. After that day, every hair color. He's more ambiguous than Prince. He's sitting up there just hanging out with Madonna. Yeah, he was no longer the Worm. Remember before he was Dennis Rodman, the Worm. No more of that. You ain't heard nobody call Dennis Rodman the Worm in years. After that day at the Palace, it was a totally different person. I don't know what happened in that car. I don't know who he talked to, the Lord or the devil. I don't know who he talked to. I believe he may have talked to the Lord. But at the end of the day, Dennis did not care. All of a sudden, he wearing wedding dresses. He done got his face all pierced up. Dennis did not care. Yep, mental issues to this day. And he's a cool dude. Yep. He said the couch stopped one of the okay, yeah. Yeah, because I never really did the research on what went down after that day. But I kid you not, man, Dennis Rodman I remember that night, man. I was young too. He was in a Palace parking lot, man, ready to blow it. Because it was white girl that broke up with him. I don't know if they had a kid or not. I think they had a kid. But kid you not, man, when she broke up with him, and you know he's still young too. Like Dennis had only been in the league a few years. So he still was in his early 20s. Man, please, that white girl messed Dennis' head up that night. He ain't never been the same. Never. There is a pre-attempt and there's a post-attempt. Like I said, a pre-Dennis Rodman was that little high top fade. After that, completely different. Yeah, before Carmen Electra. Yeah, way before Carmen. Yeah. Like I said, if you from Detroit, you know what I'm talking about that night. Yep, that was all on the news and everything. Like, man, Dennis up in the... Yeah, before Carmen. Yep, that was way before Carmen. Carmen came after Dennis went ziggity boom. Yeah, that's when he didn't care. That's when he was with Carmen, when he was with Madonna and all of them, that's when he didn't care, man. Yeah, it was like 92, 93, yep. Completely, I mean, like the next day, completely different person, bruh. Those first 3 or 4 years with the Pistons, he was a completely different monster, man. Completely different monster. Let's put it like this. He played strong defense when he was with the Pistons in those first couple years. He was a bad boy. After that night, everybody talked about how Dennis Rodman's whole career was to get in your head. Dennis would do whatever he could to mess you up mentally during the game. They never said that about Dennis prior to that night. Prior to that night, Dennis was just a good defensive player. Afterwards, all dudes was complaining. All dudes wanted to fight Dennis Rodman because of something he either did or something he said on that basketball court to mess your mind up. Because his was so messed up. Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Kobe being in the building. I'm up out of here, gentlemen. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys this Wednesday. Yeah, Dennis Rodman messed up Alonzo Mourning one game when he was with the Bulls. He threw punches. Yeah, man. Dennis was a monster. Yes, he was on them backboards. Psh, Dennis did not care, man. You had it coming. You said 92? Yeah. That was it. He was a rebound king. Here's the link to the book, to the books. Before we go, guys, make sure you guys don't forget to order the books. First book that we have here is, I keep putting my hands on it. Stop Making Excuses. And Stop Making Excuses 28 Days to Overcoming Your Own Personal Fears, distractions, discouragement, and complacency. We all have them. I told y'all my story, how my fears were, and my distractions and my complacency were holding me back in life. It was. I won't even lie. It was. And then once I got past that, anywhere was possible. How to live in 60% of the world's upper middle class, gentlemen. Not just of the world, but upper middle class at the cost of $2,500 to $3,000 a month. And I give you a breakdown on the back of the book. Your breakdown. So you don't have any excuse. None of us do. None of us have any excuse. None, nada. I give you 350 pages step by step from couch to country. And once you get to that country and how to carry yourself, you got the 44 laws of travel. And we got the Love Crossing Borders logo on the back, just like on the back of this one. We got the Love Crossing Borders logo, and just like on the back of this one. So support the channel, guys. Make sure you leave reviews tonight. Remember, the subject for the review is, and I dropped the link again, the subject for the review is, even if you don't buy the book, you can leave a review stating why you would purchase this type of book. You may not want to buy it tonight, but leave a review. We just need 3 reviews tonight. You just scroll down the middle of the page and it allows you to read the review. And when you see the photo of the image, in other words, when you see the, before I let you gentlemen roll up out of here, like I said, you guys can read the first chapters absolutely free. Let's go right here. There we go. And you guys could just go right here and read the first chapters absolutely free. At least the first 2 chapters. You got the acknowledgments, what about the author. And the first one is why consider living abroad. Why? Why even consider? Why even think about leaving your home country? Well, I give you some reasons. So that's right there. And then if you want to leave a review, you just scroll down towards the middle of the page and you're able to leave a review. Shout out to all you guys that have left reviews so far. We're at 26. We're trying to get at least 4 more tonight to get to 30. Like I said, you don't have to purchase a book yet to leave a book review. But we would appreciate if you purchase the books. Our goal is 100 books over the next couple of months. And we are right now at 36. We're at 36 books sold. And I know we're going to have a bunch. We want to have at least 100 to 200 sold before the Black Manosphere Conclave. And I'm going to bring a bunch of them to the Conclave, but at least 100 to 200 sold by the Conclave. So thank you guys for your support. Let's get these cowgirls out here as far as this outro is concerned. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That includes ebook. Actually, that doesn't include the ebook. It's just off the hard copy.